guys, welcome back to SighSquadPod. We're going to talk about some baseball because that's regular season and that's wrapping up, right, Ethan?
Yeah, regular season's wrapping up.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's just, honestly, it's just kind of a repeat of last week. I mean, the Twins' magic number now is 3. Other than that, everything's kind of still the same exact as it was last week. The Astros are still really good.
Yeah.
Still probably going to win the World Series. The Yankees, I guess, might challenge them.
Blue Jays are going to win the World Series.
Don't break it to Ben. They're long gone.
But we could get a game 163 in the American League if Tampa and Cleveland keep.
Yeah.
And game 163s are always fun. I like them.
Yeah.
Remember the Twins were in a game 163? Was it like? Because that had been like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
like that?
It would have been a while ago.
That was a long time.
It would have been
ago.
the prime, like towards the end of prime hour.
Right. And then NL wild cards heating up too. We got like 3-4 teams that are in contention there.
Yeah, Cardinals clenched a wild card spot for sure. So they're, as of right now, they're the only team to clench a wild card spot in all of baseball. Otherwise, the Dodgers and the Braves clench their divisions for the post series in the National League. So yeah, but it's a huge race. Yeah, because the Nationals are still in it. The Cardinals, obviously, like I said, they clinched a wild card. Then you got the Brewers. Statistically, the Cubs aren't officially eliminated yet, but they're out.
It's looking tough with a week to go.
Yeah, it's looking
If
pretty
their
tough.
players could just randomly get healthy, they'd be fine. Because realistically, earlier in the season, when we had healthy players, it was a lot easier to win.
And I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think the Mets still have a chance. Like, still have very, very slim chance.
Go Mets.
They just need to call up Tim Tebow.
That's my
To
prediction.
their playoff roster.
Tim Tebow would hit like 20 home runs.
Easy.
Guaranteed.
50.
Guaranteed.
He beat Pete Alonso in 1 week than what Pete Alonso did all year.
He can't be that hard. He's Tim Tebow. He's the greatest athlete of all time.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, don't quote me on it, but I do think the Mets are still in contention.
Yeah, no, I'm looking up the MLB standings
Because the Mets are at 81 wins, whereas the Cubs are at 82 wins, so it's going to be a race between those two to see who can get eliminated first. As of right now,
Well, the Cubs play the Pirates the next 3 games, and then they play...
we don't talk about the Pirates. They have bad people.
Well, the Cubs are going to spank the Pirates again.
Do not talk about the Pirates.
I know, I see.
Wow, the Packers put all those guys.
Yeah. Like I said, baseball is exactly the same as last week. It's literally the Twins just trying to get to their magic number. That's literally the only thing that's changed. Their magic number has changed, that's it.
Alright, here's the strat. Call up Tim Tebow. He'll go to bat and he'll hit a home run, obviously, it's Tim Tebow. And then when he goes by the place, he'll just grab the bat again. And then
That's a great idea.
Nobody will stop him.
Put on, slap on a fake mustache.
No, he's Tim Tebow, nobody will stop him.
Yeah. He'll just Tebow and they'll be like, okay.
Hey, you can't bat again? I am Tim Tebow. Throw me that ball!
It'll just be like, God told me it's my destiny to bat again.
Wow, what a stand-up guy. Let's let him bat.
Yeah.
50 straight center field.
Easy.
Go up against Clayton Kershaw, just...
And you know the funny thing is, though, whatever pitcher he's playing against is just going to send, just right down the middle, just throw, only 40 mile per hour one.
Well, yeah, because his palms are going to be so sweaty, because he's going against Tim Tebow. So it's going to, slip out of his hand, it's going to be a little floater and just...
And because God's going to change the weather patterns on
Right. The wind's going to go right in Tim Tebow's direction.
Yup. And then there's going to be a cloud that takes the ball, and we're going to be where's the baseball for 10 minutes? Then we just see the
Colorado atmosphere there, no matter where Tim Tebow plays.
Right.
That's what Tim Tebow deserves.
Because he has the power of God and anime on his side.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Rip fine.
Yeah.
Actually, Tim Tebow. That's why Tim Tebow's not in the actually in the MLB right now. because he doesn't have anime on his side. He's focusing too much on the God part. He needs to get anime on his side.
That-
I honestly don't know if a single person that watches anime would be able to name 2 baseball players.
Or more realistic idea,
You'd be
they're saving it as a secret weapon.
You'd be wrong, because I watch anime and I can
Outside
name
of you, Brendan. Outside of you.
They're saving him for a secret weapon. That's why he's not been playing.
Right, because they're going to save him to like a elimination day where it's like, okay, we can get eliminated if we don't win today.
And then
Hit him!
And
Nobody's gonna walk up to the plate and is that Tim Tebow? Home run.
Before we even wonder if it's Tim Tebow, boom.
you know what the best part is, though? Is right now they're having, like, binge-watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I don't know what that is. Sorry.
Anime.
It's an anime.
I know that.
Are we
Does it-
on the podcast?
Does it include JoJo Siwa?
No.
Oh. Care about it.
Speaking of JoJo Seymour, the Olympics are coming up, aren't they?
I don't know how you made that transition.
Well,
That's
her hair color changes, you know? It makes
Does it?
sense. It makes sense. Anyways, yeah, the Olympics. So the Warriors have basically said, yeah. So we're going to be in the Olympics.
Able to play.
Clay says, yeah, he will. They'll be
No,
back
the
in time.
Olympics, the Olympics will be next. Well,
He'll be back.
It'd be very.
He
close.
says that's his goal.
I was gonna say it'd be very close. Because
Yeah.
they're saying he can't play. Like some doctors have come out and said that Clay will not play full basketball, like to his full potential, for 2 years, just because of how serious his injury was.
You don't need full potential if you can be a bench
Even
player.
if you can have what Klay Thompson is, that's still pretty good.
But it's true. But you know.
But no, and that sucks though because Klay Thompson's so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
And then Curry also is committed.
He's good.
That's his goal. He's always wanted to be on the America team.
It's like I said when we talked about the FIBA tournament like 2 months ago. I told
Right.
you guys the big stars do not play in the FIBA tournament. They wait
No.
for the Olympics.
Yeah, just get us qualified, and the big guns be like, all right, we'll take it from here.
And then Devin Booker
I don't know if
also
he'll make
committed.
it. I honestly don't know if he'll make it with some of the other players that might join.
Curry or Devin Booker?
Booker.
Booker.
Curry will make it.
I would say
Because Devin Booker's that type of guy, kind of stat padded on a bad team. Because, you know, you look at it for guards, you're probably going to have James Harden jumping in. You know, then you'll probably have LeBron, which LeBron can play literally anywhere in the Olympics because it's LeBron. Then, like, Luka, I guess Luka's not an American player.
yeah, I was gonna shout and say Giannis, but I'm like, wait, he's from Greece.
You know, maybe a guy like Trey Young might be able to beat out Devin Booker. I don't know.
I'm voting for Booker.
Zach LaVine could be potentially better than Devin Booker this year. I mean,
It does depend on this
don't get me
season.
wrong, Devin Booker could easily get to the Olympics, but if the right players step in, I definitely think he could be one of the first guys cut from the invitational roster.
Can we talk about something for a second?
Sure.
What?
How is Harden and Westbrook going to be positionally?
Harden, Westbrook.
Well,
It can vary.
I mean, so are you talking about you're talking about for the Rockets or Olympic
Yeah.
Okay, we were talking about the Olympic team, so I was just like,
he brought up Harden, and I just thought for a hot second.
no, this is what I would do. If the Rockets are smart about it, you let Russell Westbrook be the point guard, and you let James Harden be the shooting guard. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Because James Harden's a better shooter, and I don't want Russell Westbrook to be my shooting guard because then he feels like he has to shoot it. And Russell Westbrook, or Russell Westbrick, is not a good shooter.
Oh, I like that.
he's not a good shooter.
He's not. He's really
An
bad.
opinion.
Yeah, no, and you put James Harden at the point. I think James Harden's a smarter basketball player. He's actually one of the smarter basketball players in the league. We just think of him as this 3-point guy with a big beard. Super smart basketball player. So you put him at the point, have him set up, Russell Westbrook. James Harden can find a way to get open, create some plays, separation, because he's one of the better players at doing that. And I think the less of a load on James Harden because he doesn't have to bring up the court, set up plays and whatnot. That's what I would do. But
Yeah.
I am not Mike D'Antoni. I don't have to deal with two really good basketball players on my team. So
I say you should be the coach. That was a good answer.
The answer.
Great
If you
answer.
become the coach, can I play?
yes, well, you already I feel like you're already in the NBA. I'll trade for you.
You can trade for it.
Well, you should call me up because I actually got told that
Nobody wants Brendan in the NBA. Come on. Let's move on. So Kemba Walker, right? Kemba Walker wants to play in the Olympics. Ben also is going to play in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Are you going to play for all the countries?
No, just the United States this time.
Oh, just the United States this time?
Yeah.
unless they're mean to him, then
I'm
he's going to go play in
considering
Canada.
doing some actual events though, so we'll see.
Oh,
If you see me like doing some sprints or throwing a javelin,
javelin and run to the basketball area to play in basketball.
He just crosses the finish line. He just keeps running because he's got to run to the basketball.
He'll grab the ball with one hand, have the javelin in the other, throw the javelin, and then chuck up a three. There you go.
you know it.
Boom.
Wow. So talented.
Yeah.
He really is. He's the greatest athlete to ever live.
Yeah.
He's up there with Tebow.
Yeah, that's a good point. There, Steve-O still there. And Pat McAfee.
No, I'll accept I'm below Tebow.
He's humble.
I'm a humble man, you know.
Okay. That's what's needed.
But yeah,
Wait, did Ben just say he's not as good as Tebow?
Yeah.
Nobody's good as Tebow.
No.
Tebow was not as good as Tebow.
Tebow's not as good as Tebow.
I'm going to argue Ben over Tebow.
Wow.
Ooh,
Ooh,
I
hot
appreciate
take.
ooh, hot take. Yeah, hot take.
Next time on SighSquadPod.
I would rather throw to
We
Ben
need to have
than
Tim Tebow come on the podcast.
Okay, that'd be so cool.
Tried
I
so
would
many
rather
times.
throw to Ben than Tim Tebow because Ben is not afraid to play tight end. At Tim
You know what?
Tebow.
That's true. Good point. Good point.
I'm gonna DM him right now.
I'm a DM him on our Twitter.
But yeah, Team USA for the Olympics. It's probably going to be a really good team, like always. Hopefully they don't
They're
disappoint.
probably going to take gold, and at very, very absolute worst, silver. At very worst.
Which silver is still a disappointment.
Well, exactly. There should be no reason they can't get a gold.
I can't remember. It was the last Olympics. We actually only beat Serbia by 6. Like, we barely beat Serbia in, like,
Jeez.
the quarterfinals. So that was a scary game. But then the other thing is, like, a lot of people underestimate some of the other teams. Because I know
That's true.
every year Spain has a really good team.
Well, and it's crazy because like the NBA as a sport, as a league, is just starting to become more global, and that's why you're seeing all these more of these international players. Because like, where's Luka Doncic from? What country is he from? Is he Croatia?
Luka.
You know, but prime example with him, and you have Kristaps. Like, you have all these really, really good international Slovenia. Wow.
Slovenia.
But yeah.
You know I was born there.
But then obviously you brought up Giannis earlier with Greece. Like,
Right.
Greece, you know, could be led by Giannis.
Right, he alone could carry Greece through that tournament. You know, so you have a lot of competitive. It's definitely way more competitive than what it used to be.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
So Ben, since you're from there, are you gonna play for USA and Slovenia? Or?
Well, see, I was born in
Slovenia.
but I'm actually a U.S. citizen. And they
Gotcha.
just broke me off as U.S. so I could play for them.
Okay.
Okay.
But Slovenia,
If they play at the same time, I won't obviously, but I'll try to.
yeah, like Slovenia was like, hey, we understand priorities, whatever,
Yeah, so
but if you ever want to just play for us, you know, you're always
So
welcome.
like, if you try on the U.S. team, I'm not there. I'm probably playing for the other one.
Okay, I gotcha. I'll keep that in mind.
But if there's Slovenian players, I would play for the U.S. while they're playing. So
Yeah.
you never see me at bowl games at once.
Yeah.
Or either game actually, because I'm in the other one.
So yeah, that was the Olympics.
Yeah, so you also play hockey,
2020.
Ben, right?
What?
No,
No,
that
Ben-
doesn't play
Ben-
out.
Oh, that's the one sport you don't
Sport,
play.
Nope.
That's the one I
Unfortunately.
play.
Yeah. See, I'm okay riding horses, but horses on ice skates. Is
I don't blame you at all, Ben. So,
Shoot, Pablo doesn't know about National Horse League.
Well, that's why NHL stands for. It's the National Horses League. That's why the Golden Knights are so good.
but hockey starts, and
October 2nd is opening night.
so next week.
Yeah.
Who's even the first game?
It is the Capitals at the Blues, last
Oh.
2 Stanley Cup champions.
That makes sense. So Capitals are gonna win. 'Cause
Probably.
it's regular season Capitals.
Because it's regular season Capitals, the Blues.
Yeah, that's the only guy I was thinking. Who do I know?
Well, actually, Alexander Ovechkin is the main guy on the Capitals. He's the captain.
Yes.
He's from Russia. He's the
there a
coolest
guy named
ever.
Brett
He's
Kern
secretly
or
a Russian
something?
spy.
What?
But actually,
Brett Kern, is he a player?
Brett Kern.
no, that's a punter for the Titans. There's a player on the Capitals. TJ Oshie's still on the Capitals, right?
You bet he is.
He was a former.
Hey, he's a devil.
TJ Oshie, though, is a former Sioux Falls Stampede.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah, he is.
Guess I gotta go for them.
And he actually used to play for the Blues before he was on the Capitals.
Thomas Vanek, he's on the Red Wings, right?
That's where he ended
Detroit.
up?
I think so, unless he signed somewhere else. But Thomas Vanek, former All-Star, he's also a alumni of the Stampede.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about Ethan Phillips? He got drafted this year in the 3rd round. Where did he go?
Brendan explained this
I don't
to us
know.
earlier. The draft picks don't play.
Oh, yeah.
Except for the first, 7.
The first, top, 5 usually are the ones that make the most impact on their team, right away. They're the ones that'll play, right away.
Yeah. But we had a Stampede player drafted in the first round.
Really?
Yeah, number 30.
What was his name?
Oh, never mind.
Brandon something.
Okay, I know who you're
Who's he
talking
play
about.
for?
The...
Vancouver something.
Oh, Canucks,
The
yeah.
Canucks?
I was gonna say that.
I don't know.
Who gives a fuck about the Canucks, eh, bud?
No, that's why I just knew it was Vancouver.
They
These are
did
the 30th.
first round. There's 31 teams in there.
But yeah, so hockey's coming up next week, so
yeah,
you can get
but
your,
preseason action is going pretty strong right now. We had a cool game winner, Patrick Kane overtime. Doing
It's
Patrick
regular
Kane things.
season hockey in a couple of days.
Brendan, do you have any formal NHL predictions for this year?
Seattle's gonna win it.
7 horses die.
They have to create adhesive for stick tape somehow.
You gotta ask me to do with them.
So hear me out. Capitals, right? They're going to have the best regular season record in the NHL. Then they're going to choke in the Stanley Cup playoffs, like they do.
They're going to lose to
Is it like
They're going to lose to probably freaking Skidney Crosby.
Is it going to be like this last year, with the Tampa Bay Lightning?
Losing to
hey,
Columbus.
Titus O'Neill wins that
Where
game.
they're the best team in hockey statistically ever, and then they lose in the first round. Did that happen?
It did. Got swept.
Listen to this.
Yes.
The Blackhawks will make it as an 8th seed in the West.
That's bias.
What
I
about
don't
hot
approve.
take?
I don't approve.
That's not
That's
just
a hot take,
that's not just a hot take. There
It's a
is
very hot
actually
take.
there's actually some background with this.
There's literally
He says that about
5
everything,
teams in
though,
that
and then
division
he-
better
look
than
at him.
Chicago.
Yeah, but that's why it's a hot take.
Well, you said it wasn't. I said it was a hot take.
Well, it is, but it isn't.
The Golden Knights make the playoffs.
Golden Knights will get to the finals this year.
Hey, good
Golden
job, man.
Knights are gonna lose in the conference finals.
I hope not. To whom?
When's Seattle gonna win?
That's a good
The
question.
year they enter, which is next year.
Yeah,
Oh.
Seattle's gonna be in next year.
So they'll be undefeated this year. I'm calling it. They're going undefeated.
They're really trying
I
to
like
push. They're really trying to push still to get the Supersonics back in
I would
Seattle
love to see
with them
the
at the same time.
It's not going to happen because you'd have to add 2 teams.
Oh
to make it work.
no! I think it's gonna happen. It may not happen next year or even the year
But-
after, but it's gonna happen. They'll expand to 2 teams.
If you think about it though, if basketball goes up to 32 teams, then that would make 3 major sports that have 32 teams.
Yeah, no, I
Those make
honestly.
really good brackets.
Yeah, no, the NBA would be so down.
But here's my thing: is I would see a team moving back to Seattle
Rather
than
than-
two
Yeah.
new teams getting expanded because there's not really any prime location for a second team to go. Like a lot of people.
Las Vegas, NBA is interesting
people
just
thought
Las
about
Vegas.
Las Vegas, but then you already start saturating that market with football and then hockey, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and then because then Las Vegas is we like this income, but you saturate the market with too
Right.
many teams,
And Vegas might get a
it's
pro soccer
hard
team,
to
so.
it's really hard to support three major teams.
Well,
Well,
I mean-
I definitely like the idea of a team in Seattle. I love the idea.
Think
No,
about
you
this
got it.
though. Chicago has 5 major teams.
Yeah, I mean they can support it.
And New York has like 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are community.
But those are like the biggest cities
Yeah.
in the country.
And that's
like
where-
Las Vegas is like a tourist destination.
Yeah.
Where Chicago is just a big city, you know?
Yeah.
Like people don't just generally live in Las Vegas, you know, it's more of like that you go there and travel.
Right.
And you stop there.
More
for
of a
couple
visit,
weeks.
not stay sort
Yeah.
of place.
And that's my
true.
biggest thing is I just don't know if they would be able to support a basketball team, a hockey team,
Yeah.
and a football team.
Yeah, but then again, we didn't know if they could even support one team, let alone hockey.
That is true.
And obviously that turned out really, really
That
awesome.
is true.
And-
But then
Well, I
obviously,
feel like the biggest thing with the Golden Knights is they just pulled fans from all over the place.
that is true.
Because
Yeah.
But then you also
a
gotta think
lot
of
of
it-
the fringe states, they're just like, I guess we're Vegas fans now.
But hockey, and, you got to remember, hockey and basketball go on at the same time. So people typically are going to have to choose between hockey or basketball. You
Basketball.
know, in the sense of, you know, and it hurts having, you know, are they going to share a stadium? Are the Knights and the basketball team would be share a stadium?
Well,
or
they
they're going to have to
would.
put up a whole new stadium just for basketball.
No, they would definitely share an arena. The T-Mobile Arena is built for basketball and hockey. Like, I really think Vegas could support a basketball team. I really do. Because I think they're so, like, hungry for sports teams. You know, Adam Silver's expressed so much interest in Vegas. They definitely want to capitalize on the sports betting market with it's crazy. It's going to be blowing up in the next few years. Obviously, it's starting to become legal and stuff. So, I mean, I could see it working out. I could see it being more popular than hockey because I think basketball is just a polarizing sport like that. The Pac-12 basketball tournament came to Vegas and they sold out most of their games. Like, it was a tournament that drew really good, and for a Pac-12 tournament that didn't have very much of good teams. So I could see it working. But I agree. I think the big thing is you gotta win. You gotta win right away. I think that's what drew fans into Vegas so much. So that would be the tough part.
Well, I guess the other problem you also look at too, though, is you're putting two teams in the Western Conference, and that's also a whole nother realignment issue you're going to deal with because, you know, obviously they're both pretty far to the west.
Well, right. So you really have to
Eastern Conference. So you have to look at the whole map.
Yeah.
Refigure the one team that's going to switch to the East, and you have to go through every division to figure out who's going to play who.
Realistically, you could move Minnesota to the East.
You could,
and then they could be put in the same division with like Chicago and Detroit.
Yeah, definitely. That would definitely be a good move.
What? Gross. I'd love to see Chicago play Minnesota.
That'd actually be a really fun game.
I would, yeah.
Zach Levine playing his
Oh, and Minnesota would play Milwaukee more than twice a year.
Cat and Giannis.
Just Wisconsin, Minnesota.
Okay, maybe we just figured this out.
I think
That's for another episode. That would take way too long to sit and reconfigure all the.
Right.
Good.
Maybe someday.
Were you going to say something, Brendan, about something? You looked like you were going to say something.
You got really excited there.
Yeah.
It's not podcast related.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well,
Make sure you use a condom.
something that is
It's
podcast. Something that is podcast related is the NCAA,
Yeah.
right? College.
College football.
Yep. So one of the fun games this weekend was UCLA beating Washington State with the
That was I was interested.
second half comeback. They put 29 points up in the fourth quarter alone.
It's like
UCLA
college
did.
football is you have to watch it till the end.
Right? Didn't Washington State? Was it?
Yeah.
Didn't the Washington State quarterback throw 9 touchdowns?
9 touchdowns. That is a Pac-12 and Washington State record. Imagine playing that well and still losing.
Right?
Imagine having to game your freaking life and it's... Oh, I see what you're watching there.
And that actually made the undefeated Washington State lose.
Yeah, that hurts the Pac-12's chances significantly. They have Cal, who's undefeated, but Cal has played a bunch of nobody. They're 4-0, but they played a bunch of nobodies. So the Pac-12 probably will not make the NCAA Final Four playoff thingy-mabob.
So sad. Another game was UCF losing.
Yeah.
For the first time since 2016.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years.
Finally got put
Penn
back in their
State?
place.
Pittsburgh.
Yep.
35-34.
Yeah, the old Philly special.
Yeah.
UCF finally got put in their place. You're not the national champion. You play a bunch of cupcake schools. If you were to play Alabama, you would have gotten dominated.
I would have watched that game.
Oh, absolutely, I would have. Until Alabama goes up like 48-7, then it's like, oh, that's right.
Wow.
I mean, I get the message UCF is trying to make. Like, I definitely would have put UCF in like the playoff, but like, I don't know.
They're
Like,
the champions. They were until
they were
yesterday.
I will say though, I do admire how full on they went with it by doing like they actually like did like the plaque in their stadium, like 2017 national champions.
Yeah.
Like that's not even a joke.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
did it. They're the champions.
Like I said, I admire going all out with it.
One other game just to mention here is Ohio State.
The Ohio State.
The Ohio State beating Miami OH 76-5. Talk about a game.
It was close.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a nail biter to the
Yeah, I was worried at the end there.
Me too.
I was worried they might score another field goal, but
Yeah.
no.
Three different.
I'm glad I watched the whole thing. You know?
Yeah. Three different.
So it was the second half.
That's great.
Wait, they got 5 points?
What?
What was the score?
5-60
So
something.
they got a safety somewhere?
What was the score?
It was the
It
final
had
was
been a safety.
The 5 were all in the first quarter.
Was it 76-5?
Yeah.
5.
They would have had to get a safety.
Well, yeah.
There's no other way to get
Yeah,
that.
because I don't think the 2-point rule, like blocking a PAT and returning it, that's not in college football yet. I don't think.
I don't think it either. So they would have had
So
to
it
have
has to.
safety.
It had to be freaking safety.
Well, good for them. They got a safety.
There's so much support.
There's something that's super rare, but yet they got blown out of the water.
But hey,
You
good for the
need to take
Red
some for
Hawks.
every game. You need to take some for every game. Take that safety.
Exactly.
They did something right.
Right, they're gonna watch film in the Ohio State game. Be like, you know what, guys, that's pretty
They
cool.
go to the room for literally 2 minutes.
Like, all right,
This
yeah.
is our one good play.
Yeah.
All right, take the rest of the day out.
Defense, good job. Offense,
Not so much.
you didn't do anything.
Hey, they got a field goal too. You
Yeah.
congratulate the kicker.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not his fault. It was like 76
That's
to 5.
true.
Yeah.
Kicker couldn't do much.
Yeah,
At that
he-
point.
secret of this whole thing is he missed like 17 field goals.
That's the reason they allowed you to
He was
field
like
goals.
one for 15.
Your favorite teams on TV?
They're in the 12th inning. 9-9.
Oh, it's the Orioles.
Don't tell me they lost to the Orioles.
Well, what a great game. Look
Well,
at
the
all
Twins
those.
did lose to the. Oh yeah, that was another thing.
Look
The
at all
Twins
those
lost to
fans.
the Royals the other day. That was horrible.
Yeah.
12-8.
I saw. I was like, what is
Oh,
going on?
now they're gonna win. Yeah,
In
they're
the
gonna watch.
14th inning.
And then
Oh,
boom.
run.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, that was a.
just
Oh,
kidding.
he bobbled it though.
Out. You're out.
Is the game still going?
Yeah, it's the bomb.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Well, let's go. God, what's that?
We had this last time.
Hey, actually, you
last
just
week,
picked
too.
up what Toronto had today.
I did buy a Blue Jays. I bought a Raptors and a Blue Jays hat today at Lids. Yeah.
Nice. Way to support all different teams.
Yeah.
One player who doesn't in the NFL who doesn't support many teams is Antonio Brown.
Oh wow. And many teams don't
See, we're at
support him.
school.
Yeah, that's what we're
He's
talking
taking
about.
on
The big
schooling.
news. He is now done with football and he is on to returning to school, getting his education.
Good for him.
Maybe he'll learn something.
Maybe he won't.
Maybe in 5 years he'll come back to the NFL more humble.
Oh,
Well,
God.
in 5 years he's gonna be like 35 though.
He can play one season.
You realize he's
As a
bad.
punt returner.
Yeah, it's fine.
Some team will need him. There's always going to be a team that needs him.
Honestly, all it's gonna take is for. I mean, I think maybe he's gonna get hit with some stuff because some of these stories are way
I
too.
know he's gonna get hit with stuff.
Yeah.
The first 3 seemed fishy. The 4th one seemed 100% correct. Then the 5th one came around and it was like, we can't. There's no defending.
All right.
Well, you guys know the story behind the fourth allocation,
Yes,
right?
we will not mention it on the podcast.
Yeah.
If you'd like to
So,
look it up, search up
hired
Antonio
this
Brown
paper
on
review.
Twitter.
Yeah,
What else is going on in the NFL? Saquon Barkley.
yeah.
Dude, that sucks.
More like Saquon broke.
But hey,
Boo.
but it doesn't matter because we got Daniel Jones at quarterback.
Yeah, dude. He.
Whoa.
8-8 Giants. 8-8.
Not without Saquon.
They'll get Saquon back eventually. Remember
with
that.
Daniel Jones and Saquon, I had him at
Daniel
best
Jones played a
6-10.
good game against Saquon.
But honestly, though, like,
What I'm
if the
saying,
Giants
they-
go 6-10, like, that's still, like, sweet. We can work with this. Let's just build on our defense. Daniel Jones is the real deal, because I think he is the real deal.
Yeah, everybody joked about him, but
They did okay against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah,
Who, I mean, no offense to the Buccaneers.
but everything against the Buccaneers.
Yes. I think they still need Barkley to win. I don't think these next.
No,
four
I
seasons-
agree. Like, especially when you have a young quarterback, you need to have that like leeway of like, okay, I need to get the pressure off of me. Let's give it to Saquon, have him do his thing.
These next 4 to 6 weeks, I think, will be rough for Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a good game next week against Washington. But for
Oh,
same reason, it's against
But
Washington.
think about what Washington did against the Eagles.
Oh, they went up early and then
Yeah.
they gave up the lead.
Yeah, but but Daniel
Giants-
Jones.
Daniel Jones has to have somebody besides Evan Ingram to throw to.
Evan Ingram's up too, I think.
Yeah,
Was he out too?
yeah, and Sterling Shepard had a pretty good game, didn't he? For the
Yeah,
Giants,
he did.
yeah.
Evan Ingram is hurt.
And then, oh no, Golden Tate comes back not this week, but next week,
spot,
right?
yeah,
Oh, okay,
week
I
never
think if
mind.
he has Golden Tate back, that'll be good. But I think next week he's at a loss.
I don't.
Oh, there's a
I,
but
difference.
that's
I know. They do have
foreshadowing.
Evan Ingram. They do
yeah,
have
they're
Evan
fine.
Ingram.
They're
okay.
fine.
No, I really think
There's
Daniel
Golden
Jones is
Tate.
gonna have another really good
We
game.
forgot to put him on the list. That was another guy that got hurt.
David Njoku, he got hurt. He'll be out.
Season-ending IR, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Ooh, that's.
And then
Well, no, they put him on IR. They said he can come back anytime.
Oh,
That's what I
gotcha.
heard.
I
More.
thought it said season-ending.
I thought it was 8 weeks.
Ooh, I don't know.
I'll look at it.
More
I don't know, I think
crap
Keanu
going
Neal,
on in Cleveland.
career is probably
In question,
Yeah, yeah.
in question, I'd say.
Keanu Allen.
Neil.
Keanu Neals. Sorry.
Neil, as in
Place on
Neil
that.
Armstrong. But yeah, tore his Achilles. So after coming back from a ACL injury, it's not looking good for him. It's not like the Falcons are gonna do good enough to where
Well,
he'd be able
no.
to.
Falcons should be doing
So
good.
it's
But they're
up in
not.
the air still if he
I mean,
is
they're-
coming off.
What? Oh no, they're 1-2 right now.
So
but-
I mean, this loss, it's a big loss. Don't get me wrong,
yeah.
but it's not like season changing.
No, I still think the Falcons can rally. I mean, obviously, you lose a guy like him, that sucks. But I still think the Falcons can rally. They got to figure out their crap on offense. They were like, I mean, yeah, they put up
They should-
24.
They should
But-
have an explosive offense.
They're getting off to way too slow starts, like early in the games, and that's like been their problem. It happened against, obviously against Minnesota. They had they had a bad game, but they kind of made it kind of somewhat interesting later in the game.
You know what I've noticed? They have a hard time establishing a tempo.
Yes, and that is absolutely true. Like Dan Quinn, like he tries not to be a one-dimensional coach. Like let's just pass the ball all the time. Let's try and get Devontae Freeman into it. And Devontae Freeman has been struggling so far. I would know because I have him in one of my fantasy leagues. He is not doing very well for me. But they're trying to establish the run too much, and the problem is like Atlanta, they had Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman split the loads. Now it's just Devontae Freeman. So you lose. I think that's been playing a huge factor because it made their offense a little more unpredictable. And now I think their offense is getting a little too one-dimensional. And they're trying to be two-dimensional, but it's just not working.
Yeah.
That's just what I've noticed about the Falcons.
I mean, on paper, the Falcons should be really good. I mean,
Oh,
they have
yeah.
a couple good defensive players. They have Julio Jones, Mohamed Sanusi is a solid 2. Matt Ryan's not a bad
Austin,
player.
Austin
Ridley is
Hooper's a really
really
good tight end.
Calvin Ridley's good too.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have a bad.
No, they have talented football players.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, sometimes you look at like Cleveland and
Sometimes
stuff,
things just don't work out.
They just like,
It happens. But something that did work out for sure is Minshew.
Yeah.
Poor man's Tom Brady.
I mean,
Nobody-
Next greatest of all time.
Hey,
It's Tom
Obviously.
Brady's
At least
more
10
as Gardner Minshew.
Exactly.
That's how I view it.
I would feel that way
This
too.
is better Zach Mettenberger.
No way.
Stop it. We had this discussion at Liz. He's definitely better than Zach
Here's the thing.
Mettenberger.
Oh, for sure.
And the reason
Come on.
why this
Zach
show is
Mettenberger's
so
awful.
great is because he's being cocky about it too, and it's fucking amazing.
It's so
He's
awesome.
going to that locker room knowing he's Gardner Minshew. He's gonna play every game like he's Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
And he don't give a shit what you think about it.
and I love that.
It's amazing.
And honestly, he's been playing really good.
Yeah.
Like, all jokes aside, he's been playing like insanely good.
So he
It's
can
awesome.
do that.
Exactly.
I don't know if we talked about it last week, but if he keeps playing like this, do you think Nick Foles is out?
He's out of a job.
Oh, for
yeah.
sure.
Like,
I would say
think
so.
Nick Foles has always just been a backup quarterback.
Send his
I don't
ass to
know.
Miami.
I think we'll see how many more weeks is Foles out. A while.
at least probably 6.
I think we should see. I think we should see how, if Minshew can keep this up these next couple.
Well, and
weeks.
that's what I mean is if Minshew doesn't keep it up.
If he doesn't, I still think
Which that's not even an option. So
Oh, sorry.
I think there's a good chance that Foles comes back and leaves that stuff.
So the
yeah.
But does it change it with Minshew getting calm with the offense? Because this is Nick Foles only played the 2 games with
That's
Minshew.
right.
Like,
Minshew-
he has not gotten connection. Like, he doesn't have that deep chemistry.
Minshew is
honestly,
just as connected.
Yeah, like,
as
in Gardner Minshew, if anything, by the time that rolls around, Gardner Minshew's getting more accustomed to the offense.
Yeah.
I don't because he plays Denver this week. I think he's gonna have a good game against Denver.
He goes to Denver, and then he goes to Carolina, and then he plays Saints without Drew Brees.
Yeah, that defense that's gonna be a tough. That defense is good, but yeah, still it'll be a chance.
And then he plays the Bengals.
So 3 bad teams.
Yeah.
4.
Right. Well, and, and that New Orleans game, like, heck, he starts, gets the next 2 wins, and he goes in that game with a little bit of swagger, like, because he's a cocky SOB, but he can back it up. Comes with a little bit of swagger, like, all right, well, I'm better than Teddy Bridgewater, so let's just.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Gardner Minshew. Okay,
Mr. Patriot fan here.
No. This has nothing to do. I'm not even gonna trash Gardner Minshew. You gotta let me talk sometimes. Gardner Minshew really doesn't have to be like a great quarterback in order through these next few weeks. They can just rely on sacks.
But he's gonna be a great
but
quarterback.
exactly.
He wants to be a great quarterback.
I'm just saying, if he can just not throw an interception, literally that's all he has to do. Do not turn the ball over these next few weeks. Then he will be looked at as
12 touchdowns next week. Confirmed.
actually,
I don't think so. Against the
Broncos-
Panthers, easily. Against the
Gardner
Broncos, I
Minshew
don't think
keeps-
Yeah, Henry might throw like 10.
Yeah, Broncos.
if Gardner Minshew cannot throw an interception and like keep the job over Nick Foles type thing, like we were talking about, he could pass Dak Prescott's rookie record.
Well, he will throw against the Broncos.
Probably not against the Bengals or the Panthers either.
The Saints is going to be the hard one.
I think the Saints will. I think the Saints have. I mean, that Saints Seattle game kind of surprised me. I turned to the off back and I was like 33 to 20 something. Dang, Saints playing good.
I watched that whole game.
Teddy Bridgewater was actually doing solid.
I was blown away by when I watched that game. It was the special teams that got in my head to begin with.
Yeah.
With the punt return for
Here's
a
the thing,
touchdown. I was surprised.
I could honestly see Taysom Hill being the quarterback within the next 2 weeks.
I don't know. Teddy Bridgewater.
But here's the thing: is Teddy Bridgewater will never be the same football player he was for the Vikings before the injury.
I don't know. Did you watch the game though?
But that's the
Because
thing.
he did decent.
But here's the thing: is Teddy Bridgewater is the type of player he will never be a risk taker in the NFL.
The Saints
Maybe
don't
never
need
the way.
The Saints,
Yeah.
special teams are picking up the work, and I think if they're going to get some wins before Brees comes back, and Brees is going to come back, and he's going to push them to the playoffs.
I don't think your statement is entirely true either, because there was a lot of points where he was just trying to keep the clock moving, so he would run the ball. And I don't think we would see that.
But what I mean is the fact that like risk taking on his like throws and stuff. Because Teddy Bridgewater, his whole time in Minnesota is he was a check down quarterback. Like that's what he did. So he did check down after check down, but that's not the way the Saints offense is built.
Yeah, but if he's going to be that kind of quarterback, what better check down guy than like Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara?
That's true, but then when you look at it, like
Right.
Taysom Hill is a better athlete than Teddy Bridgewater is by a long shot.
Yeah.
But that's why
because you
it's
talk
almost
about
better to put Taysom Hill in at tight end,
Taysom
or
Hill
at wide
plays-
receiver, or at halfback,
But that's the thing is you put him in
special
or at
teams.
quarterback too.
But you
Special
put him in
teams
as
every
your,
time.
But you put him in as your quarterback, and then you get that versatility with, like you were saying, with keeping the clock going, where he could take off, unlike Teddy
But
Bridgewater.
Taysom Hill can't throw as well as Teddy Bridgewater.
But if Teddy Bridgewater does the checkdowns, then Taysom Hill should be able to do the checkdowns. So if they're going to run the same offense, you'd rather have the better athlete who can at least take off.
You'd be
I would
losing.
rather have Taysom Hill receiving the ball than
You'd be
throwing the ball.
losing a better receiver, tight end, whatever you want to call him, you'd
whatever
be
you want
losing
about
that player that you can throw in there on third
Yeah,
down.
but I feel like you guys are underestimating the Saints tight end because they have Jared Cook. Jared Cook's, when he gets going, like he's a top 5 tight end in the league.
No, but one of their things that is making him good is Taysom Hill and Jared Cook lining up on the same thing.
But you
it throws people off.
Because you have Ted Ginn on one side, and then you have Michael Thomas on the other. And you have
so who are you going to throw to there? Because you can throw to all 4 of them.
I think there's so many weapons on the Saints where I think you could just be okay with either one. Because, if you have Teddy, that allows you to use Taysom Hill. But if you have Taysom Hill, words, you're going to have more of a deep ball threat, I think. That's going to open up Michael Thomas. That's going to help Alvin Kamara.
And that's just my thing, is I would rather have Taysom Hill as a quarterback because you already have enough weapons to do it. Like, yes, you can never have too many weapons, but you have the tight end, you have the 2 receivers, you have the running back.
Yeah.
So you don't need Taysom Hill, so why would you rather not have the
I certainly think Taysom Hill is so much more confident in that offense because he probably knows that thing so good. Because especially when he has to play multiple positions on the field, like he probably knows that playbook so well.
And he's
probably more accustomed to, like he probably is more built for him than Teddy Bridgewater, like honestly. But like with Teddy Bridgewater, you could be okay with him. All he has to do is just not turn the ball over. If he has to dump it to Alvin Kamara, that's fine. But
see, the way I think of it, I don't think Taysom Hill being a better athlete is the issue. Teddy Bridgewater is the veteran. He's the one they're paying to make the money. They're paying him to do the job.
They traded him.
They're not going to substitute. Teddy Bridgewater is going to play until Brees comes back unless he gets hurt. I don't see.
Yeah, and that's like they traded for him. They signed him. He could have been in Miami been a starter.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that could end up happening is Peyton's going to call up Harbaugh and be like, yo, do you still got that 2-quarterback offensive package still? Yo, you want to slide that my way, dog? Thanks. The old Joe Flacco, Lamar Jackson days.
Yeah.
I think Teddy Bridgewater can definitely be Drew Brees' successor, and I think that's something.
Really?
Yeah.
I would agree with that, actually, surprisingly.
I think he's just
if I think about it.
Where I don't think Brees plays more than 2 or 3 more years, and at least he's going to be. At least Bridgewater is at least going to be their starter for a few. I think he's going to at least be the bridge to the next.
Yeah, for like 3 years.
To clarify what you guys are saying, you're not saying that he's the next Drew Brees. You're just saying he's the guy that
he's just
going to come in and take over.
I think they're shaping him to be Drew Brees' replacement eventually. He's obviously not going to Drew Brees. At least a filler until he gets.
Yeah, he's going to be that filler.
Another thing is Taysom Hill is like 3 years older than
filler quarterback and being his successor, because being a successor essentially means after Brees retires, Bridgewater is the franchise guy. Mm-hmm. But being a filler player is a guy that you pay the 2-year deal, you go to the first draft, if there's a good quarterback, you take him. If not, you play Teddy Bridgewater that whole season, then after that season you let him go, you go get a different quarterback.
See, no, I think you might as well stick with Teddy Bridgewater for the next 3 or 4 years until you get that guy that you know you want. Like, you don't have to go right away out and say, I have questions about a guy. You get that guy that you want.
I don't know if it's just because I watched Teddy Bridgewater. I'm not saying you guys didn't watch him, but obviously me watching the Vikings, I saw a lot more of him. I didn't think Teddy Bridgewater was that great of a quarterback. He was an average at best quarterback.
See, and I disagree. There are so many people that are negative on Teddy Bridgewater. I thought he was going to be great for the Vikings. You literally saw the progression every single year. He got more confident. He really did, and I think it was very evident in that Seattle game, in the Seattle playoff game, even that really whole year. Yeah, he made some stupid mistakes, but for a second-year guy, you're going to have those. But I saw his progression. He was better than any other quarterback the Vikings had before, and it was evident. Yeah. Having that devastating knee injury sucked, and I think he just needs to get his. I think once he gets his confidence back, you're going to continue to see that progression, and then he'll be the successor of Drew Brees. He'll never be as good as Drew Brees, but no one will. Drew Brees is Drew Brees.
Plus, what better spot to be in to be under one of the greatest of all time?
Exactly.
What better position? You have all these weapons. You have a great head coach. You have a great system to be in. You have a great fan base. You have a great football city. You are primed. A great defense. You are primed to succeed in New Orleans. And if you're in New Orleans, you traded for this guy. You re-signed him, and he couldn't have been a starter in Miami for a reason. So, I kind of agree. I think you stick with him. There are some things he needs to work on with his game, but I also think that's him not playing legit full football in, almost 2 years now.
I think as he goes on right now with Drew Brees out, I think that's going to help him out for when in the future.
Drew Brees has a mic still. They have him on the sideline with the mic, and
that's true.
He's basically assistant quarterback coach. So
before we move on, I would just like point out, like, I'm not like dissing Bridgewater. Like, I'm not saying he definitely deserves to be benched or anything.
Yeah,
I'm just saying I definitely think Taysom Hill would be a very strong candidate to, like, it is going to be a toss-up the next few weeks.
Well, yeah, because weren't they talking about, like, playing Taysom Hill next week against Dallas or something?
Yeah,
like,
to see what they can get out of it.
Well, and you might as well. Just doesn't hurt.
So like I said, and I'm not saying Teddy Bridgewater is bad, I'm not saying he was a bust, but, you know, from what I watched him in Minnesota, you know, he was like an average quarterback. But, you know, obviously, like you guys said, you learn under Drew Brees, that helps you a lot.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I just don't ever see Teddy Bridgewater as a top 10 quarterback ever.
No,
like,
I'm not saying top 10.
The top peak of Teddy Bridgewater's career will be like a Nick Foles situation where he may come in, win you a few games, but that's it. That's just my take.
I don't think he ever will be a greatest of all time, or even the greatest, one of the best in Saints franchise. I mean, he's going to be a starter. He's going to be like one of those quarterbacks. He's not going to win games.
Yeah, you know what he can do? He can keep you competitive. He can keep you competitive in that window when Drew Brees is gone, and everyone expects you to kind of take a dip. He can make you competitive, and you're not going to have to. Because how long was his contract extension for? I don't. We're like
2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years. So let's say Drew Brees retires. Well, maybe even like it been a year or two. You know, you get one more year of Teddy Bridgewater. You know, you get the chance to re-sign some of these other players to keep the team, you know, contact and together. Because you're gonna have to pay Alvin Kamara in the next couple of years. Like, you're gonna have to pay him, as you should. He's one of the best running backs in football, one of the best playmakers in football. So you just kind of ride with that, build a team around him, and, you know, you get a good year of Teddy, then you figure that out. But I don't know. I think it could be a good option for New Orleans. They'll keep him competitive.
I think it's interesting we're talking about all these young quarterbacks. Because I know we have it posted right here.
Yep.
Starting quarterbacks right now under age 25. You got 5, 10, 13 of them. That's
crazy.
About half the league.
So the caption or whatever under it is what made me put it in here by Fox Sports home of SmackDown Live next week.
Yeah.
Just watch it Friday. They're going to have pyro. It's going to be amazing. Has the new era officially begun? And I want to say yes. It kind of opened my eyes for a minute, especially looking at all these young quarterbacks in particular.
Right.
Well, I will say there is definitely a couple of them that may go off this list within the next 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I would say, like, Falk isn't going to be one of them. If Kyle Allen keeps playing this way, I could definitely see him becoming the starter. But I don't know if... Like, it sucks that Cam Newton had such a shitty start to the season because it makes Kyle Allen look that much better.
Yeah, well, when you go 0-8...
Yeah, over your last 8 starts, Kyle Allen throws 4 touchdowns in his first game.
Exactly. It makes him look amazing.
But at the same time, it's Cam Newton. Like, he did win an MVP just a couple of years ago, you know.
Yeah, but
he's a bitch. He wouldn't die for the football in the Super Bowl.
And name a player who's won MVP and dipped the way Cam Newton has.
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco never won MVP, though.
Never mind.
He won Super Bowl MVP.
Peterson.
Wasn't that different?
Actually, that's a very interesting. I'm going to look up the last few MVPs, and I want to see.
Wasn't that a different circumstances, though?
He kind of did that himself. It was mainly all because, you know, the whole kid. We're not going to dive into that. But it's not like he's played for... I mean, the only thing that stopped him is he's getting suspended games. That's what halted him. And then Minnesota just needed to go in a different direction.
Matt Ryan.
Okay, but like I wouldn't say Matt Ryan's dipped yet because Matt Ryan statistically last year had a better year than his MVP year. Cam Newton has dipped significantly, and the problem is you're gonna
Peyton Manning.
He does not count because Peyton Manning is in another world. But like Cam Newton, you're gonna have to pay. The market's gonna have you pay him $30 to $35 million. I wouldn't pay him that much.
I wouldn't pay him that much.
You don't pay him that much,
especially when you got the quarterback doing okay.
That's what I mean. So you did Kyle Allen good for a few games.
I named one player that fell off way harder than Cam Newton.
Okay,
Steve McNair.
Going back a little bit.
Because he died. So
I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna leave that alone.
No, but seriously though, but the guy before that was Rich Gannon. Rich Gannon was literally like a 3-year wonder. with
Right,
Raiders.
exactly.
But no, I do get what you mean.
Yeah.
Cam Newton had a very hard
and
drop off.
And like I was saying, like you're gonna have to pay him. The market's gonna have to have you pay him $30 to $35 mil. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't even pay Cam Newton that.
But here's the thing: is when Cam Newton does play up to his full MVP,
he's amazing.
He is a top 5 quarterback because he's also a dual threat quarterback.
Right.
He's also 6'6".
But are you willing to pay $35 million for inconsistency? I wouldn't want to.
But then again, you also have to look at what does Cam Newton have to throw to the last 4 years.
Yeah, but like you look at some of the best if you're a good quarterback, you'll find a way to get to. And DJ Moore's really good. He played with Devin Funchess. I think he's a good enough receiver. He's, I think he's just like an Allen Robinson. He's a good receiver, but he's had players to throw to in his career. I just feel like he's more focused on other stuff other than football.
Like his hairdo.
And his fancy, why shouldn't you say fancy? Because they suck, his crappy outfits. And literally anything other than football. He's just not focused on it. And, that's, you do you, man. But, the Panthers are going to be sick and tired of it, and they're not going to pay you. And then, some team will pick him up, obviously, because he's Cam Newton. He's, like you said, when he's good, he's really good. But I just don't want to pay for inconsistency.
He's the next Vikings quarterback after Kirk Cousins.
That's
seriously what's going to happen.
He's going to get another $80 million.
I'd be okay with that.
That's seriously going to be.
I would be upset with that.
Such a Vikings thing to happen. It's going to happen. Once Kirk Cousins' contract is done, because I think the contracts will match up. I think Kirk Cousins and Cam Newton expire the same year.
That's amazing.
And it will literally happen. Just watch.
Speaking of people who decline a lot in their career, Ethan, who are they now?
Are we jumping to my segment? Are we done talking about quarterbacks?
I kind of figured we got your name here.
I think we tackled a bit with it quite a bit.
So, Sean Smith, where is he now?
Yeah, do you guys remember Sean Smith? His name kind of popped up in my head a little. Do you guys don't remember? He was the Chiefs cornerback a couple of years ago. He was actually pretty good.
Did he go for the Raiders for a little bit?
Yep. He after Kansas City he went to the Raiders. Yeah. Signed a 4-year deal with them. He was 6'3". He was a big cornerback. He challenged Richard Sherman for the top press corner.
I didn't even remember who that
was. Yeah, he's only been out of the NFL for 2-3 years. But no, he started his career in Miami. He was teammates with Vontae Davis. A lot of people missed. That was a very big missed potential. You could have had Vontae Davis and Sean Smith.
Yeah.
Like I said, Sean Smith. He went to Kansas City. He was a pretty good player. I mean, in his first year with Kansas City, he played in 16 games. He had 47 combined tackles. He had 2 interceptions his first year. And he did get a pick 6 that year. And then, he was decent his next year. He had 50 50 combined tackles. I mean, he was good. He was a good corner. He was a great corner at best. Like I said, he was up there in cornerbacks. He was top 10 cornerback for 2-3 years. But then in 2017, he got a lot of legal trouble. He got into a fight. Yeah, it's funny, because I think last week ended with... Or no, we did... Keyshawn Johnson. Never mind.
Raiders getting in fights.
Oh, but this was actually a really bad fight. He got into a fight with his sister's boyfriend.
Oh, I love it.
And he hospitalized this guy.
Oh,
the guy had
better.
Had brain bleeding.
Oh, now I feel bad for this.
Yeah, it caused brain damage. It was really bad. And Sean Smith actually ended up in prison.
Oh.
In jail. He served a 1-year sentence. He actually just got out.
I wasn't expecting that.
He got... probably not. On March 13th, he was sentenced... On March 13th, 2018, he was sentenced to 1 year in jail with a 5-year probation after pleading guilty to the assault charges. The Raiders obviously cut him.
Well, naturally.
I don't know, I wouldn't give him no chance. I was misunderstanding, honestly.
Yeah. But no, it was kind of a sad career. He hasn't really done anything since getting let out of prison. Like I said, during the prime of his, during his peak years, he was a great corner. He was a top 10 corner. I don't know if I'd say he was shut down, but definitely he was probably behind Sherman at the time for best press corners that you put your you would go up against Julio Jones or Mike Evans, those type of receivers, those bigger guys.
I mean, in the short time that he did play, I mean, 14 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles.
Yeah, exactly. And, yeah, I mean, he was consistent, too, because in his from 2011 to 2014, he started all 16 games across those 4 years.
Wow.
And then he kind of had the injury bug in 2015. He only played 13 games. But he had 45 combined tackles in 13 games.
Oh, wow.
So he probably would have ended that year with close to 60, 70 tackles. Because they did also use him as somewhat of a safety. Because obviously, like I said, he was 6'3". He was a big corner. So you could slide him into safety, protect the deep ball. But yeah, it was a really sad ending of his career. Because like I said, he was a good cornerback. And he was a good 2 picks every year type of guy. The last 3 seasons he played in the NFL, he had 2 picks each of those years. So, yeah. Then, like Noah said, he ended his career. His career is probably over. I don't see him coming back. He ended his career with 14 interceptions across, I think it was 6 years played, maybe 7. But it just sucks because he was a second-round pick in 2009. He's 32 years old now, so again, and he's 2-3 years removed from football, so I just don't see him coming back.
No.
But
Well, he's not going to the XFL because they don't want criminals.
no.
They don't even want Antonio Brown, actually. They actually released a real statement.
Dang.
Saying that they're not going to pursue him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
All the missed potential.
Really?
I understand what they're trying to do, but like all the missed potential with that league. You'd have like Johnny Football, you'd have Antonio Brown.
I mean, but I understand it, too. They want to...
No, I know. Keep it right, because they want it. Obviously, they want it better than the last XFL, because that was a mess.
Yeah, it really was a mess.
Yeah. So, Ethan, what else did you want to discuss today?
There was just a couple of cool things I saw. One of them was cool. The last time Drew Brees, Eli Manning, and Ben Roethlisberger all did not start in the same season,
Right.
Brett Favre was the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers.
Good old days.
The Incredibles was the #1 movie in America, the first one. My Boo by Usher and Alicia Keys top charts, and this was the craziest one to me. Facebook was just 9 months old.
Oh wow!
Like that's crazy.
We're talking a long time.
Yeah, it's just crazy because obviously we just mentioned a little bit ago the new era of the NFL. Like, it's crazy that these all-time greats are finally getting to the end of their careers, and now it's time to start looking for that next, greatest of all time. Because I think we talked about this a long time ago. It's probably like 2-3 months ago, but there's no real clear-cut next potential guys. Like
Yeah, we were talking about that.
like
Maybe Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, we talked about that. But we don't see because Aaron Rodgers is already getting, I think he's 36,
35.
I mean,
He's not young anymore.
Aaron Rodgers is probably the only guy in that age range that's a greatest of all time candidate.
Yeah.
It's you've got Matt Ryan, but Matt Ryan is the
best B+ quarterback in football.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
what about Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson's the Hall.
He's easily a Hall of Famer, but I still wouldn't put. I wouldn't put Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson in the same career. I think at the end.
I think Aaron Rodgers. He's a great statistical career. I think if he can go out and win another Super Bowl, I think he could definitely be put up there as one of the greatest.
Well, that's
he's not already.
Yeah.
Honestly,
and that's what I mean. Is there's no clear cut guys that are between under Aaron Rodgers but older than
Goff.
There's no guys between 27 to 34
I'm
that
talking
are.
about quarterbacks that injured. Is Andy Dalton that injured?
Yeah, but Andy Dalton
No, Andy
not.
sucks. But no,
Yeah.
I'm sure I think quarterbacks in general in that injury.
Yeah,
Teddy Bridgewater he's 26 or 27.
Teddy Bridgewater's 26, but yeah, that's what I mean. There's just no guys that are there because after Aaron Rodgers is gone and Russell Wilson, it's probably going to be a good 6-7 years before we see another first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback that.
Well, you're trying to see Patrick Mahomes now.
Well, yeah, but
Really,
Patrick Mahomes still has, a good 14, 15 years of NFL to play.
Lord, can you imagine if he plays like he is now for 15 years? Oh, good Lord. The
mean,
stats he's going to put up.
I don't want to see those numbers.
I mean, it's just, yeah. So I just think that.
We see it. Well, you got Rivers. Is Rivers over 40 yet?
Rivers is
Not quite.
39.
Around 40, you have Rivers and Manning and Roethlisberger and Brady
Yeah.
and Breeze.
And then the rest are young. You don't have...
great quarterbacks.
Yeah. Because how old is Russell Wilson?
32, I want to
He's
say.
32. Okay, so
he's the one in that range, I guess.
Right, he's honestly the only one where it's like Russell Wilson is definitely a Hall of Famer. But other than that,
see, there's things like Andrew Luck probably
Andrew would have been if he didn't retire.
Oh, I guess Russell Wilson is only 30. Yeah.
Oh, then he doesn't. I mean, I think he's a Hall of Famer for sure.
Oh, already, yeah.
But he still has. Yeah, he still has it. Russell Wilson still has a
10
solid.
years.
Yeah, exactly.
Biggest toss-up is Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford.
Ooh.
He's like right on that. He's on the border of hitting the Matt Ryan status. You know.
Matt Stafford is gonna be that guy who's gonna play with the team forever, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I remember Matt Stafford."
Like Joe Flacco.
You're like, "Wait, who's your quarterback then?"
Matthew friggin' Stafford.
Oh, yeah, I remember Matt Stafford.
Yeah, I'll say this: so name a better stat pad in NFL history than Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
He can his stats are they're good. You'll look at his career statistics and be like, "Wow, damn, this guy's really good." But then you just kind of look at all the details and you realize, oh wait, he's never won the division or won a playoff game, and it's like, But in the end, this is all irrelevant because Tom Brady will play the next 5 years and still be one of the best QBs in the league.
Yeah, that was just the one thing the old things that I want to talk about.
It's just a big big changing of the guard.
Yeah, it really is. Because now when that same thing, the Brett Favre was starting quarterback, the Incredibles, in 10-15 years, it'll be like Old Town Road was the #1 song when this happened.
Yeah, NBA broke the box office record.
Yeah, NBA broke the box. Yeah, exactly.
The Area 51 rate that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. Yeah, exactly. That's going to be the stuff that is going to be on that.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, because then I'll look on...
Gather around, kids, and tell you about the story. Those dragons and aliens.
The Area 51 raid that almost happened.
Almost 75 people.
Hey, now we say it doesn't happen. 20 years we say it almost happened.
Right.
In 100 years we say it did happen.
There are a lot of people there. Did you see the picture?
There was a lot.
There was one people who actually went in. There was that old lady who went in.
Yeah.
And there was another guy, but I can't remember. And there's the Naruto runner.
But I mean, you never know. There could have been hundreds of thousands of people there. Yeah. They just got
2 million people signed the thing.
Yeah,
there was a big party in Las Vegas for this whole thing.
Well, yeah, they did party stuff. They did one in a bar in Las Vegas, not too far from it, and then they actually did a little thing at that.
Yeah, with 1,000 people or something.
Yeah, I think it was actually closer to 2,000 or 3,000.
Oh, really?
Showed up. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what that has to do with football, but
no.
You guys ready to pick them?
I just had one more thing to talk about, just because I saw it. It was a comparison between Andrew Wiggins and Jameis Winston, which at first I was like, oh yeah, that's totally similar. I was like, they both were very promising. They're both #1 overall picks. They both started their rookie year pretty good, and then they kind of fell off. But then when I thought about it, I was like, the thing is Wiggins didn't get worse. Wiggins in his career never got worse, and I feel like a lot of people give Andrew Wiggins a lot of shit. But Wiggins just never got better. He never hit that #1 potential type of guy. He was the guy that... Because I think for his career, a lot of people don't realize, Andrew Wiggins is the 11th leading scorer over the last 5 years. Andrew Wiggins... Had Jimmy Butler not come over, Andrew Wiggins probably would be a top 5 scorer.
You look at the statistics in the end. I was crazy because me and my buddies in college, we talk about this all the time because they always say, "Oh, Andrew Wiggins doesn't, he never deserved that big contract." At the time, it was completely justified because his rookie year he was averaging 16 points a game. Then he averaged 18. Then next year he was almost averaging 20 points a game. That's when they paid him. And then Jimmy Butler came in, and Jimmy Butler was the worst thing that could have happened for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He was such a toxin, a cancer, killed the confidence. Him and Tom Thibodeau would just kill the confidence out of Andrew Wiggins.
Well, now the other,
and I think that the difference between Jameis Winston and Andrew Wiggins can recover. He can literally have a bounce back year because Josh Saunders it'll be the first full year he's the head coach. And all the players love him as a head coach. So, if that pans out, that'll be good. Andrew Wiggins will have his confidence back. He'll maybe average, average 19, or maybe he'll finally get to that 20-point mark.
Yeah.
The thing with Jameis Winston is just like you said, Andrew Wiggins never got progressively worse. He just didn't take that next step, or at least not yet. Jameis Winston took a huge step down, multiple steps down.
He just doesn't look like the same quarterback every year.
Exactly.
It's one of those things he just doesn't look as... every year he loses more confidence.
Right. And I will say this, so he had a really good game against the Giants. If I remember right, he had a pretty good game against Carolina on Thursday Night Football. So he hasn't had a bad start to the year, and I think that's the effect of Bruce Arians. But he has to have a bounce back. He has to have a bounce back here.
The time is running out on Wiggins. Like you said, Andrew Wiggins still has time to make that bounce back.
Exactly. I think he's going to make it this year. I really do.
Jameis Winston is ending getting towards the end of his career in Tampa Bay, at least.
Right.
You know, I mean, you look at statistically, like he is always that borderline touchdown interception guy. Like every year, he's so close to throwing the same amount of interceptions as he does touchdowns.
Yeah. What were his rookie year stats?
His rookie year, it was 22 touchdowns to 15 interceptions with a 58 completion percentage for 4,000 yards.
Jeez.
Second year, like we said, he took that step. 28 touchdowns to 18 interceptions. Still a lot of interceptions for 4,000 yards with a 60% completion percentage. Then the next year, he only threw for 3,500 yards. 3,500 yards, 19 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. He actually got benched that year, 3 games. So I think that was
Ryan Fitzmagic.
That was your Ryan Fitzpatrick played. And then the last year, so not the beginning of this year, but last year, again, Fitzmagic and Jameis Winston competed again. Jameis Winston ended the year with 3,000 yards and 19 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. So I mean, it's a very alarming career with the amount of turnovers because Jameis Winston tries to be the gunslinger, but he's
just not. And a lot of this it just sucks because it was all kind of self-inflicted. He's an emotional guy that I think affects his play because he just gets so way too into it. Obviously, he's had a lot of off the field issues. You know, that affects how you play. Like no matter what people say, it really, really does.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what's going on, like you said with Cam Newton right now.
Yeah, exactly. He's more focused on what's going on off the field than than on the field. And obviously, at least Cam Newton's not getting in legal trouble. Like Jameis has gotten a lot of legal trouble. You know, and then you hear the chat, comments about that and stuff, and you just don't focus on the play on hand, and then you just get emotional, and like he's lost a lot of games because of his emotion. He turned the ball over at a bad time, and one of the main plays I can remember is he was playing in Carolina. It was a couple of years when Carolina was like good. The year the Eagles won the Super Bowl, it was that year. Jameis Winston threw an interception on like the 20-yard line. He just after that he went to silent. He just chucked his helmet, was like pushing teammates, yelling at coaches. He was just throwing a hissy fit, and I'm just watching him like that's your franchise quarterback. That's what you want your franchise QB to do. I look at QBs like Russell Wilson and at the time Andrew Luck, and all they do, if they make a mistake, they just kind of shoot, but
they just kind of shake it off.
Right. Because one of my favorite things is Russell Wilson when he threw the interception in Super Bowl. This is all he reacted. He just clapped his hands like, shucks. Like that's your reaction to that. Like I don't know.
It's completely unrelated, but it just reminded me of the stat I saw the other day. Aaron Rodgers has thrown 5,500 pass attempts in his career, and he has 2 pick sixes.
Who does?
Aaron Rodgers.
I knew that.
It's 5,500 pass attempts. He's 80 interceptions and 2 pick sixes.
I feel like I just saw that the other day somewhere.
Yeah, I did too. That's why it just reminded me. But yeah, that's crazy. 2 pick sixes and 5,500 pass.
Did they mention who those 2 people were? Because they'll go down in history.
It was one in 2017 against the Bears. I can't remember what. And then one in like 2013, I think.
Before he was like 2013 was when he hit his peak. Like when he
2014 was his best statistical season.
Okay, well, because I remember when he won the Super Bowl, he wasn't like the Aaron Rodgers we know now.
Yeah.
And then after that year, he's the Aaron Rodgers we know now.
Somebody with the Bengals.
Tampa Bay was one of them.
Nice.
I have no idea who that is. That would have been a really crappy Tampa Bay team. Number 36.
William Jackson for the Bengals.
William Jackson.
Really? So that was just a couple of years ago. So William Jackson's only been in the league for like 4 years.
Yeah, there's that.
2017.
Yeah, it was the last one.
Is that really Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, it's only Aaron Rodgers. It's still Aaron Rodgers.
Like I said, that's a really bad Tampa. They were 1-7 when that happened.
Ooh.
There's William Jackson.
And then the last one, this was called back. That's what it says in the video.
Khalil, no, that wasn't Khalil.
He only has 2 officially.
Yeah, because he has 3 in his career. But
Nazir Jones who was with the Seahawks at the time.
Yeah,
That was called back, so that was actually...
That was called back.
No, never mind, because that was Brett Hundley. Didn't he throw a pick 6 to Khalil Mack? Or no, that was a fumble recovery.
That was
Probably.
Khalil Mack on Deshaun Kaiser.
probably.
Or Deshaun Kaiser, not Brett Hundley, Deshaun Kaiser.
That was the last year in that first game where Rodgers went out with an ankle sprain,
Yeah.
and he came back and won it.
Either way, they were both.
Yeah.
Sean Kaiser, Brett Hundley, both weren't very good.
I think Kaiser's better than Hubby, but
that's
both.
that's also saying like you're the smartest Kardashian. It's not saying much.
Who is the smartest Kardashian?
The one that's
I
a
don't-
fucking lawyer.
Which one?
I think it's Kim.
Is it-
One of them's
is-
a lawyer. No, one of
But
them's a
Kim's
lawyer.
with
and
Kanye, so you gotta take that.
Yeah, but there is seriously one of them is really fucking smart, and she's like one of the best lawyers on one of the coasts.
Maybe it's Kylie.
Well, that's
Kylie has a
dad
bunch of
from
stuff
OJ's
going
lawyer.
for her.
I mean, she's a billionaire.
That's what I'm saying.
Probably works to start with her money.
Fashion lawyer.
No, wasn't their dad though the OJ lawyer?
Oh yeah,
He's a smart
Robert
George
Kardashian.
Kardashian. Yeah.
He's still alive?
He is not, unfortunately.
He died in 2000.
Look at you knowing about the Kardashians.
Why do you know so much about this?
Okay, mainly from O.J. Simpson documentaries, but
Oh,
Yeah, it was Kim Kardashian. She became a lawyer.
yeah.
She's pretty good at
Let's
it.
pick them.
Alright, NFL pick'em. So
We're picking the Kardashians.
That's
Go
my
Wonder
pick.
Bread car.
Go Wonder Bread. Hey,
Go
Pat
Wonder
McAfee,
Bread.
what you doing? Hosting Friday Night Football on
Yeah.
something.
All right,
so
pick 'em.
Thursday night we've got Eagles in Lambeau.
Yeah.
I have 28-17 Packers. I think Eagles have definitely been struggling this week. They have a couple key guys still out. They just stumbled in this last game. I don't think they go into Lambeau confident. I don't think they go in Lambeau healthy. I don't think Packers will continue playing great on defense and averaging 3 turnovers a game, and they had 6 sacks and 2 forced fumbles against the Broncos. I think the defense plays good again at Lambeau, and 28-17 Packers.
I usually give Thursday Night Football, I usually give the advantage to the home team. They get an extra day of practice. They don't have to travel, and Thursday Night Football can always be an ugly football game. We saw it in the Jacksonville, Tennessee game, which we all predicted. So I'll give the edge to the Packers. They're playing much better. They have more momentum rolling than the Eagles do right now. Even though the Eagles have played good football, they just haven't had the lucky, they've been unlucky. So I think it's going to be a close football game, but I think the defense is going to continue to keep it going at home. I think it's going to be 24-17 Packers, move to 4-0.
You know, we finally get a Thursday night game that people would
That's
actually
watchable.
watch.
Right, it's actually watchable.
2 teams that people would actually want to see face off
Right.
against each other.
I
you know?
wanted to see all these teams face off.
You wanted to see that Jacksonville Titans game.
Actually,
Of course I
it
did.
wasn't bad.
I watched the whole thing.
It was
I've watched
shit
every
show.
Thursday Night Football game this year.
The only reason that game was watchable was because Minshew Gardner.
Minshew coming.
It was still watchable, wasn't it?
No, it was terrible. It was a terrible game.
I literally, yeah.
Terribly
But
awesome.
okay, this one I am picking the Eagles to win 24-17. The other reason is because I want the NFC North to be up for more competition. I really don't want the Packers to start 4-0. So I'd rather be wrong than have the Packers starting 4-0.
If we go 4-0, we get the Giants and the Raiders and the Redskins, which should be 3 easy games, and the Lions twice. Let's theoretically win those games. We're already at 9 wins for the season.
And not to mention, you get Chicago at home, too.
We get Chicago at home. And we get the Chargers, who've been struggling. The Chiefs will be a definitely tough game. But we get the Panthers, too, at home.
Oof.
Yeah, so the
I'm
Chiefs
going for
are
that game.
the Chiefs are really the only game that you know
Yeah, that's
you've
when they
lost.
struggle.
Yeah.
So I honestly think the Packers can win 10 games this season. And not,
Well, they can probably win more than that.
well, yeah, but at least 10.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I think they can take the division.
But I guess that is, honest to God, my main reason why is because I don't want the Packers to start 4-0. But other key notes is I think the Eagles are in do or die mode already, and they are going to tell Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson, if you guys can play, you guys are going to play, because we need to not start the season 1-3. Because if they start 1-3, their season might be over before it even gets started.
Yeah,
because they
right.
cannot start 1-3 and then flip it around and win, the next 4.
Right.
it's going to be hard. I
mean, they did it last year, but they also had the injury bug. They have all their top players healthy. So what's your excuse this time around?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's getting to the point where it's do or die because their weaknesses are
especially with Dallas, with because Dallas will at worst be 3-1 by the end of Sunday, so they're playing insanely good football. So
exactly, the division's already. I mean, the one lucky thing is obviously Saquon's hurt, so that helps.
Right, but if Daniel Jones
keeps playing,
if Daniel Jones can just progress, oh my gosh, like that Giants team is going to be. They won't be like great, but they'll be uber competitive.
Yeah, they can be competitive with the Eagles. Obviously, the Redskins aren't a threat, but the Eagles might be in a do or die situation already by week 4. So that's the only reason. The only other reason why I think that they're going to win is they have to win this.
And I can see it if they weren't at Lambeau.
And that's the scary part.
Lambeau on a Thursday night is going to be a rough.
It is definitely going to be rough. And I could easily see the Eagles losing, but I just would rather pick them to win because I don't want the Packers to start 4-0, and the Eagles have to win this game.
Yeah. You know what? On top, just totally side note, the problem with that is if the Eagles will definitely feel more pressure to win, and Green Bay will probably just play a more relaxed game because they'll still lead the division even if they lose. And Philadelphia is going to just be trying to play like I feel like they could just get in their head like, okay, we have to win this game or our season's over.
Packers are just going to play as they play. And
exactly. Like the Eagles are just going to play not to lose. While the Packers are just like, let's just play to win.
That's exactly the thing. Is the Packers, like Noah said, the Packers could lose this game, still be leading the division.
Right,
like,
exactly.
It's not an important game for the Packers. So if they want to, not play as hard, as shitty as it sounds, not play as hard for this game, they really don't have to.
I think at the same time, though, is you get a team that's relaxed at home playing football, and they're confident. They're hard to beat. You get a confident team at home that's been in rhythm, and their defense is working good. The offense is still playing good.
And I guess it also is the Packers. Why not just throw the pedal to the floor and just try to go 4-0 and
right?
Make sure the division stays that far. This is the division that
don't have to run the table.
Because this division's tough. The NFC North is really good.
I also have Packers winning 24-21. I think the main reason is that defense. It's going to be too much for the Eagles to handle, I think. As long they already have it in their mind that they need to win, right? I don't think that going against a Packers defense and having that in your mind is a good idea, because they're just going to disrupt the plan altogether. If you watch the Broncos game, the Packers did just that. They tried to. Anyways, and defensively they did. And they disrupted that running game where they had to switch off from dual backs and just Philip Lindsay, because Philip Lindsay was the only one that could get going. Because if they kept holding Royce Freeman, they weren't allowing those passes. They had to pass to Noah Fant because you couldn't pass to Emmanuel Sanders because he was always covered. And so I think the same thing will happen with the Eagles on Thursday.
Imagine if you guys still had B.J. Raji and Clay Matthews as a pass rusher.
Ooh.
Could be
Clay Matthews had a sack his last Sunday.
Yeah.
Joe Brendo.
So I think
welcome back.
I took a little snooze there after being up for 38 hours straight. So
that's not healthy.
But anyways, Pac's gonna take it probably 27-21. But I will say this: the Eagles have an opportunity that they can probably get the advantage on the game, and I think the game can be close no matter what. But if they can somehow work out some of their depth that they have at running back, like not just use Jordan Howard, but throw a few different backs at Green Bay, I think it'll throw them off a little bit.
So you want to go to the Sunday night game? We got Cowboys Saints.
Is this the game of the week?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, this could be the game of the week if it's.
I think it could be. I think so. The Cowboys have been playing 3-0. They've been playing good. Who they beat? The Redskins and
the Giants,
and the Dolphins.
So
I mean, it's not that hard.
A great crowd, but I think they're still a pretty decent football team.
But I don't mean to interrupt you, but it's like we said last week. if you play a bad team, you should dominate.
That's exactly
what they did against. Yeah, it's exactly what they're doing. Is they are beating these teams by a fairly large margin.
I think are they playing? Who are the Cowboys at home?
It's in the Superdome.
I couldn't remember if it was. I think that's definitely going to be the Saints' advantage. I think the Saints' special is playing great. I think the defense is playing great. I think Teddy Bridgewater just enough to get Alvin Kamara going. I think the Cowboys start off strong, but that Saints team rallies back and they win 24-21.
Interesting fact: the Cowboys have not put up under 30 points so far this season.
They will this game. I don't think they don't put up 30 against the Saints.
They put up 35 week 1, 31 week 2, 31 last week.
No, they don't do that against the Saints.
I don't think either of these teams put up 30.
I don't think so either. I'm actually going to steal Ben's score, but I'm going to flip it for Dallas. I love Dak Prescott. I actually think he's a really good QB in this league. Honestly, though, when has there been a time when Dak Prescott is going into a game and he is the better quarterback in the football game?
These last 3 weeks.
Oh, I guess. That's
until this point in the season.
Well, that's true. But realistically, in a big time game like this, he's always the lesser of the two quarterbacks. He's going to go into this game as the top quarterback. He's playing really, really good. He's playing for a contract this year. Zeke Elliott's just starting to get his rhythm now, and I think that's going to be so scary. I think it's going to come down to which quarterback plays better, and it's great. I'll give the advantage to Dak Prescott. I think he's going to continue this great start. That defense for Dallas is really good. They know how to beat New Orleans with Drew Brees. They did it last year. They found weak hole, and then actually what kind of kickstarted not the downfall of New Orleans, but like there was the formula to beat them. Dallas found it, and now other teams are starting to pick up on it. The Rams exposed it. They not blew out Seattle, but they beat Seattle, which I was kind of surprised by, but
they played good in us, and then going into it, Russell Wilson's the better quarterback going into that game, but they got it done.
They played amazing against Seattle. Yeah,
they played really well against Seattle. I think with Seattle too, it's just like I don't know, because obviously Russell Wilson's good. I think the run game has been decent up to this point. The defense is. Like there's talent there, but I don't think as a collective unit they haven't been the defense that they can be. And I think Dallas will obviously be their toughest challenge up to this point. But I think they're going to weather the storm good. I think they're going to handle the crowd. They're going to have a good formula going into the game. They're going to try and wear out that New Orleans defense, because that's really all they have to do, because the defense can compete with that New Orleans offense without Drew Brees. It's now, so how are we going to move the ball against New Orleans' defense? And I think they're going to try and watch that Rams game and pick apart what they did and implement in their game. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to win a close one. Dallas moves to 4-0.
I'm not kidding when I say this. I did not know that Cowboys statistic before I read it off to you guys. I predicted the Cowboys to win 31-17, so that would make it 3 weeks in a row that they have scored 31, I think. Yeah. That would make it 3 straight weeks of scoring 31. Like I said, I did not know that before I made my prediction. But that's the score. Like I said, I predicted the Cowboys are going to win 31-17. I just don't really see the Saints defense slowing them down. They're firing on all cylinders right now. Like even Amari Cooper is looking really good.
You look at the receiving core for that, and you know what we kind of forget? That Randall Cobb is on the Cowboys, and he's playing really good. Now with Jason Witten back, he's a huge safety valve. And then they have another really tall, really big guy Dallas for a receiver.
Michael Gallup?
Yeah. Is he hurt?
He might be hurt this week.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but
yeah, but he's been playing good up to this point as well. So Dallas has so many weapons offensively. This might be the best collective. Well, I guess the Rams, but this will be one of the best collective group of offensive talents the Saints play, and they lost to the Rams. So you might see the same thing here against Dallas.
Yeah, and then it's just you guys you guys talk about the Saints defense, but you can't argue the Cowboys have the best offensive line in the league. They have
that's another thing too.
All-Pro offensive linemen, and then they have really good young guy with Leal Collins. I mean, they have such a good offensive line. It's so hard to stop that.
Yeah, going into games, you always see who has when you're in the trenches, who has the advantage, because that's going to play a huge factor in the game. Because it's the matter of moving the ball and getting stopped. and advantage Dallas in the offensive line. So they're gonna move the ball. They're gonna get first downs.
I mean, that's the thing is, if you tire out that Saints defense, because they do have a lot of veterans,
Exactly.
if you tire it out, it's going to be hard for them to stop them.
The Rams exposed in the last 2 years. If you just wear out that defense, keep them on the field, you have the advantage.
Exactly. So, yeah, I predicted Cowboys winning 31-17.
So, I actually have the Saints taking this one due to it being a home game. I just think they're just going to win on a field goal, but they're still going to win. It's going to be a nasty contest for sure. But I have 27-24 Saints.
So, Ethan, I thought it was interesting that you had the Saints scoring 17 points and losing. I have the Saints scoring 17 points and winning because I think we're going to see the defenses firing at all cylinders because I feel like in practice, definitely, especially for New Orleans, they're going to be beating defense because I feel like the biggest thing is going to be slowing down the Dallas offense, which we've seen come out and blow out teams, but it's not going to happen against not the Saints defense. Saints defense is too good.
I will say this is honestly the game for Dallas to prove itself
Yes,
as a real
absolutely.
contender this year. Because obviously, like we said, they played 3 crappy teams to start the year. But if Dallas can actually go in play the Saints at home and then come out with a win, I definitely think that this proves that they are a for real contender this year. Because obviously, if we look at it now, the Saints will probably make the playoffs. So Dallas Saints might play each other again in the playoffs. So,
But anyways, 17-14 Saints. My prediction.
All right, so Monday Night Football, we have Bengals Steelers. I feel like this is gonna be a high scoring game. It's not gonna be a game a lot of people watch. I don't think. I mean, it's on Monday night. So
I'm going to be watching the season premiere of Monday Night Raw. Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins.
I'll be watching that. Yeah.
I'll be watching.
It's gonna be a forgettable game.
I'll be at
very
Blitz.
important.
2-0-3 teams.
Yeah, I put a 31-28 Bengals. Bengals, I think, just edge them out offensively at the very end.
I think this game is actually going to determine who's last in the division, actually.
Really?
Well, it's the Bengals and the...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. They're both 0-3.
Yeah.
So...
You're up, Pablo.
Oh, I'm up. All right. So Pittsburgh had a really good chance to beat San Francisco. Minka Fitzpatrick had a really good game. Had a fumble recovery, had an interception. He was already an X factor. He's going to make that defense better. And for a Cincinnati team that is better than what their record shows, I mean, I think Mason Rudolph didn't play terrible in that game. I think he's just going to continue to progress. I think it's Monday Night Football at home. I think that crowd is just going to be amped up. They know this is their best chance to get a win so far this season. James Conner might be out for this game, correct?
Yeah.
I think that could be a big piece. He's one of their best running backs.
Okay, yeah, that'll be huge. But I think the addition of Fitzpatrick is already panning out, and when you're going up against a really underrated receiving core in Cincinnati, you're going to need
is
that.
AJ Green going to be back this week?
Not quite. He's getting close. He's getting closer though. But he'll be out for this game. But so that's going to be a factor. I think they're going to be able to slow him down, and Pittsburgh always has Cincinnati's number. They always do, no matter how good or how bad both teams are. They just always have their number. And I just think Pittsburgh will win a really, really tight game. I think it's going to be 28-27. Pittsburgh gets their first win.
All right. Quick hot take. Bengals should drop AJ Green and sign Antonio Brown.
I love it. I don't think Antonio Brown deserves to ever be on a football game.
No, I agree. And especially for AJ Green, who's just so humble and great.
I would like hate the Bengals.
I would hate Cincinnati.
AJ Green's always hurt. He's always hurt.
Not
It's just like every
always.
single
But when he
game.
plays, he's
When he
freaking...
plays, he's amazing. He's a top 5 receiver in the NFL. But when he plays,
And he's really only been hurt though, like seriously hurt the last couple of years. Like obviously this year and last year, but other than that, he's been healthy for 2 full seasons.
I don't know.
He's missed a couple games here and there, but even
That's
then,
be funny to watch AB play for the Bengals.
especially against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, that'd be a bloodbath.
Oh yeah,
But it'd be so much fun to watch.
exactly.
I honestly would go out of my way to watch that game. Not even gonna lie.
Is Ethan's turn?
Yeah, it's my turn. I think this has potential to be a shit show game. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and say it's not going to be, though, but I could definitely see this thing being a really crappy game, just boring to watch. There's a lot of overthrows, underthrows, things like that. But I think the Steelers are going to come out on top 21-17. I just don't think the Bengals really have a will to want to win this year. Obviously, this is literally the first season that they have not been under... I can't think of his name now.
Marvin Lewis.
Marvin Lewis. This is the first season that they've not been under Marvin Lewis in probably like 20 years. That might be a little bit of exaggeration, but it's seriously been like
it's been a long time.
So I think, to be honest with you, I think the Bengals should throw their season away. I know they have a lot of great players on that team, but I definitely think it's just time for a change in Cincinnati. So I think they just throw their season away and just lose as many games as they can. Bring a new era to Cincinnati, so... Yeah, I have the Steelers winning 21-17.
I like it. I have the same score, 21-17 Steelers. But I think it's going to be because Mason Rudolph has a good game. I don't think it's going to be that the Bengals necessarily have a bad game. I just think Mason Rudolph is going to finally get that he needs, you know. He realized he's going to be in there the rest of the season anyways. He might as well start playing better. I think Juju will be a big help for that. Even though he is still young, I think they'll have a connection, and I think, especially against such a rival in Pittsburgh, I think Pittsburgh would win.
So, I think the Bengals are a far better team than we want to give them credit for. Kind of like what Noah said, even though he does give the win to the Steelers this year. I think right now this is the best position for the Bengals to kind of take over the Steelers. In contradictory, I think this is going to be the turning point because the Bengals' offense has been very interesting. It's always gotten off the ground, and it'll be definitely interesting to see. Like, they've even gotten off the ground in games that they've lost, which they've lost all three, but they've been high-scoring-ish. But I'm predicting 26-16 Cincinnati.
Alright, so I got my choice of the week. My choice is the Broncos-Jaguars. I think it's going to be a greatly horrible game.
I don't think the Broncos have a chance.
I think Von Miller and Bradley Chubb are going to have a game. They haven't had a game this year. They haven't played this year. I think they're going to finally play this year, especially when you have backup quarterback in for the game. I think it's going to be a better game for the Broncos than the Broncos have had. Don't get me wrong, they had a close game with the Bears, which they should have won, but they didn't because of all the holding calls and bad ref calls. But against the Packers, I think they were shown that they're not great this year. But I still think they'll be able to beat the Jaguars.
Week 1, we were watching the Denver-Oakland game, and I said Denver's defense sucks, and there are no really good players on, and obviously Von Miller and Bradley Chubb are good players, but they're not playing good. And you all argued me, but look at me right now, no sacks, no fumbles, no interceptions, 3 weeks.
First time in 20 years that a team's done that.
So we're talking about all these bad teams. Look at Miami. You say Miami's defense is worse. Miami has sacks. Miami has Miami has more fantasy points than Denver right now. And Miami's been getting killed every single game.
Jeez. Miami actually sacked Tom Brady.
Yeah. Broncos have scored 1 fantasy point so far this season.
It's okay. They'll score more this. It'll be 21-17.
No, so I have the Jags. It's going to be 21-7. The Jags are just they're going to walk over. The Jags are actually going to play defense. Broncos are going to further defense again.
Oh.
21-7. Jags.
So sad.
Man. Yeah.
Oof. Don't want to even see this.
Yeah, Broncos are not a good football team. They are not. Jacksonville had how many sacks against Tennessee on Thursday? Was
6 or 7?
They had a lot. Calais Campbell is
a
freak.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think all the offense started to just pick up a little bit. I think this is going to be Gardner Minshew's if we thought last week was his coming out game, this is the game where he's like, holy crap, Gardner freaking Minshew. No, seriously, because like you're saying, we don't know if the Broncos are going to get a pass rush on him. We don't know at this point anymore. Yeah. I don't think they don't have a turnover, so like I can't even say like how they're going to stop Jackson from scoring. I think Gardner Minshew's going to throw for 4 touchdowns and like 300 yards. I think he's going to have an insanely good game. I think Calais Campbell, that defense, is going to have a really good game. I don't know if you guys have been watching Josh Allen, the rookie out of Kentucky. Insane. He's good. He is really good. I think they're going to wreak havoc.
Yeah, you were right. It was Jose.
Oh, nice.
Wasn't Ben?
No.
They got wrong. It's okay.
Dang. Oh, sorry.
They misspelled my name.
Ben's stats don't count. They're unreachable.
Yeah. Right, so they are like, okay, besides, other than Ben.
The closest person to get Ben.
Right, okay. That's fair.
People have no idea what would just
most home runs by a Blue Jay player.
And I said Jose Batista.
And I said it was Ben. So,
which it probably is.
Yeah.
So what was your final score?
Oh yeah. So I think Jackson's going to dominate. I think they're going to suffocate whoever they have playing, whether it's Joe Flacco or whoever. I don't think it matters. I think Jacksonville wins 31-14. Jacksonville blows out Denver.
Are they in Mile High?
It's in Jacksonville.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in Jacksonville.
All right.
I will say this is kind of going to be kind of a sad game because I think this is kind of the final nail in Joe Flacco's career. Like, I know it's kind of bold to say.
He's got 8 games where he's the only quarterback that can play.
But you know what I mean? Like, this is the final game where it's like, you know what, Joe Flacco.
The hopes for Joe Flacco?
Yeah, it's the hopes for Joe Flacco are gone. His tenure in Denver is just done. It's over. You guys, because obviously there was a lot of hope going into the season that, you know, maybe Joe Flacco just needed a change of scene. And
I don't know. You guys are hating on Joe Flacco. He's not horrible.
But that's
he's
the
not
problem.
playing horrible. He's just not playing good.
But that's the thing is, I mean, Joe Flacco in the prime of his career was argued to be like a top 10 quarterback, you know, and it's just I think Joe Flacco is getting to the end of his career where he needs to start looking at being a backup. You know, like a mentor backup type of player.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's really random to say just for this specific game, but it's 4 games into the season. I don't have the Broncos winning. I have Jacksonville winning 28-10. I just don't think Flacco's going to be able to do anything. It's going to be time for that Broncos team to really look at itself and be like, all right, what do we need to do to rebuild this team the next 3-4 years?
You need to drop your offensive lineman, Garrett Bowles. 5 penalties, 1 game. Holding.
Well, isn't there some degree where you can just actually, you know, coach them out with what is known as discipline?
They need to start over. I think they need to go complete rebuild.
That's exactly what
that's what they're starting to do because they picked up Cortland Sutton and they got Philip Lindsay. They got Bradley Chubb. They got Derek Wolfe.
The one guy that always gives that team hope. Is Von Miller. Von Miller always gives that defense hope, but you need to get rid of him.
I was just going to say, so now you got to think about trading. You got to think about maybe even trading Bradley Chubb too, because it's just like, well, crap, we just need draft picks.
I mean, that's kind of what the Raiders did. The Raiders were bad. They traded.
Yeah, they traded Mack and Amari Cooper.
They're playing a little bit better, I guess, but they need to. Broncos, I think, need to trade.
I agree. I think they need to trade Von Miller to a contender that's going to give him draft picks and think about trading Chubb because Chubb's not going to want to stay there once his contract's up if they don't get better.
But hear me out. The biggest person that would want like defensive players like that is the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Broncos are not going to do that to themselves.
Well, why not?
Why wouldn't they?
Let the Chiefs have their prime time the next 3-4 years.
Right.
By the time the Chiefs can't afford all these guys.
Yeah, and I get you, and I get what you're saying because they'll play the Chiefs twice a year. But it's just like at this point, it doesn't matter. They're going to kick our ass anyway. So what's the point if we just give them Von Miller and they beat us by 28 as opposed to 21? You know.
Yeah, so any team could use a good pass rusher.
Well, right.
There's not a team that wouldn't take Von Miller.
Right. If you put him on the Bears, like they'll take him for sure.
I can see. I
don't want to see that.
That'd be deadly.
I can see the Ravens maybe wanting our pass rusher. I see Oakland wanting our pass rusher. I think the Eagles
they're
might
not
want
trade Oakland either.
The Eagles might want another pass rusher. I mean, there's teams that I guess the Giants have nobody. I can't even see the Giants pass rusher. Cardinals have
Terrell Suggs.
Terrell Suggs, I guess.
Well, they have Terrell Suggs and
The Bengals have Coach Donuts. Is this one of the Bengals?
Yeah.
I guess it's not him.
and Geno Atkins.
And Gino, but he's not the player he once was.
There's so many teams that can use a defensive pass rushers.
Right.
Any bad team.
But I think at this point in Von Miller's career, they're just like, all right, let's get into a contender. Which
I think
contenders want him?
it'd be cool. Ravens.
Well, I feel like at the end of the day,
I don't think he needs to go to the Ravens.
I think it'd be fun.
They'll probably go to the Patriots because that's just how life
No,
works
I don't.
sometimes.
Let's not even think about that.
Yeah.
I don't even think the Patriots would do that to themselves.
Why they don't like draft picks? They don't like draft picks anyway.
No.
They love giving that crap away.
But anyways, finally I get to say my prediction.
did Duncan do his?
Yeah, of course. I
Yeah, he did his
Here's
first.
Only one that has the Broncos 21-17.
Some little hope for the season. Some little hope for the season. So
I'm not going to sit here and trash the Broncos,
Thank you.
but I am willing to say that Jacksonville defense is just going to be disruptive to whatever team, and I feel like that alone will just get Jacksonville wins. And I think Gardner Minshew, if he can just go out and, like I said, not throw an interception. So pretty much if he sees Chris Harris being old Chris Harris, he just looks to the other side of the field.
Oh yeah, the Cardinals released Michael Crabtree. We forgot to talk about that.
Yeah, I don't.
Sorry, I
I
don't mean to
like
interrupt you
Michael
again, but Crabtree got cut again.
23-13.
Plays that third time.
Jacksonville.
Play the Cardinals.
Why? But Crabtree's not a bad receiver.
No,
Because
like,
Fitzgerald's having an end of his career resurgence. Fitzgerald is like playing insane right now.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
yes.
but I hope Michael Crabtree goes somewhere. Michael Crabtree can still be. He's not number one receiver, but he's a solid guy. He's one of
Yeah.
those guys like, oh yeah,
He could be easily number 2 in
He's one of
several
those guys
places.
who aren't going to make big plays, but he's going to be solid. He's going to be like Muhammad Sanu. He's like, oh yeah.
well, yeah. Well, like I think, like I said, like you don't get worse having Michael Crabtree. You certainly don't get worse.
Hell, Eagles need people that can catch.
Patriots.
Tried that with Golden Tate, it didn't work.
Patriots, we would literally just put him at tight end.
No, I was gonna say, Pasky's a good wide receiver right now.
Patriots
like,
would literally just go.
I mean, they didn't get rid of Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
They got
yeah.
a replacement.
Yeah,
But
they
they regret trading Demaryius Thomas now.
Do you think they really care?
No, they probably don't.
I feel like the Patriots actually wanted to set something up to where if the Antonio Brown stuff went south, that they could try to start mixing into the mix Jacoby Myers. Because Jacoby
I have
Myers...
no idea who that is. I'm
No
sorry.
idea.
I looked him up because Brendan was talking about him. He actually had a really solid preseason. He's
Well,
pretty
he
good.
also played in the Steelers game,
Yeah.
and he had like 2 30-yard completion. Or no, he had 1 20-yard completion.
Didn't he have an interception? And the Patriots put Tom Brady back out there.
That's Jarrett Stidham.
That's quarterback.
okay. I don't know what I'm
We're
thinking.
talking about wide receiver Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, Jason's so good. Throws a pick six against the Jets. Yeah, okay, Brendan.
Anyway, Ethan,
He was good up to
Yeah,
that point.
my game.
Yeah.
I picked kind of a sleeper game. I think this game could have the potential to be a really good one, depending on what happens. I picked the Redskins Giants. The one thing I want to see out of this is I honestly want to see Dwayne Haskins versus Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know you don't want to rush your quarterback process. You know, if the Redskins want to keep Haskins from playing this year, I understand. But at the same time, it's already starting to get to the point. It's just a throwaway season for the Redskins anyways. Obviously, the Cowboys are playing insane. The Giants are kind of seeing a resurgence, so why don't the Redskins try what the Giants did? Put your rookie in, just see what he can do. So I think this could be a really fun game if that happens. I still don't think Haskins will... He definitely won't start the game, but if he gets put in, let's say the second half, I could see a good second half of the game. I have the Giants winning, though, 21-10. I think Daniel Jones picks up where he left off. I don't think he'll have the same game as he did last week, but I definitely think he could go for 2 touchdowns, maybe an interception, 220 yards, something like that. So, yeah, 21-10 Giants.
I don't think this is going to be a good game. I do not. I think Daniel Jones is going to play all right. He obviously played pretty good last week. I think going to the Redskins, he still needs more time a little bit before he really gets in stride. I think he throws a touchdown against the Redskins, but I still think the Redskins win 16-9. They can get it
Nice.
done. Yeah.
I'm gonna back up Ben here. I think it's gonna be actually. Well, 16-9 is still a close game, Ben.
Well, yeah, no, I didn't say it wasn't. I didn't say
Said it was going to be a good game.
I have it going 21-20 Redskins.
Missed field goal?
Blocked
Or extra
field goal.
Or missed extra points.
Or sorry, blocked extra point. Blocked extra point.
Interesting.
You expect a lot of that Giants defense.
I have
The
Or the Redskins defense, sorry.
I have the Giants winning 24-17. I think it's going to be Daniel Jones. And I do think they'll start Case Keenum, but I could see them why they not. He threw 3 interceptions tonight.
Yeah.
So I could see them starting Daniel
That
Jones.
is against the
Or
Chicago
not Daniel
Bears
Jones, Dwayne
defense.
Haskins.
Yeah, it's not the Bears defense, it's the Giants defense. There's a
Yeah.
There's a
I mean,
difference.
still, you might as
So
well.
Norris Jenkins
But that's-
probably
If you're
won't
going to
get you
throw
off
him out,
the
if
time.
you're going
that's
to
what
throw
I
him
mean.
out against somebody, you might as well do it against the Giants
And
defense.
that's exactly what I mean. Because it's like we said with Daniel Jones. Like, Daniel Jones had a good game, but it was against Tampa Bay. Like,
yeah.
Tampa Bay's defense, secondary for especially, is crap.
It's basically Vernon Hargreaves and whoever they decided to throw in there that day.
Yeah, essentially.
Well, I'll agree with you on one thing, Ethan. You said Daniel Jones not going to have the same game. You're right. He's going to have a better game.
Really.
I think he's going to tear it up against Washington. Like you were saying, he had a good game against Tampa Bay. Washington's defense isn't that great either. So why isn't this the chance for Dan? I agree. Without having Saquon Barkley, it's going to suck.
Yeah,
But he
that's
had,
hurt a lot.
but he had Saquon Barkley for. He didn't have Saquon Barkley for the whole second half, right? Because when did he get hurt? Like what quarter did he get hurt?
Actually,
Second
was
quarter-
Eli
the-
still in that quarterback when
start-
Saquon got hurt?
The start
No,
of the
they
second
started
quarter.
Daniel Jones that game.
Oh, yeah, they did.
The start of the second quarter. So they didn't have him for most of Daniel
and
Jones freaking out.
Daniel Jones to me was so impressive because he had one bad turnover. That's it, and he bounced back by scoring 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like that is what.
Conspiracy. What if Eli hurt Saquon in hopes that it would make
Oh,
Jones?
Jesus. Oh God!
The sad thing is, like,
I could see
I
that.
could tell. No.
Told you that Daniel Jones kid wasn't good.
Oh no.
You guys, bad luck for the team. Put me back in.
Damn. Ooh, yeah. Daniel Jones guy. That's his best
It's just
option.
like they decided to start Eli. Saquon's like, nah, dog, I'm fine.
Jeez.
I think, did you give your final score then?
I did not, but I think it's going to be. No, you're good. I think it's going to be 31-20. I think Daniel Jones has another 4 touchdown performance, whether it's 2 passing, 2 rushing, and that's one thing that's made him so good. Like this, I mean, I gotta agree. I just want to make this point. The thing that Daniel Jones has that Eli doesn't, because they're very similar players, they really, really are. But the one thing that Daniel Jones has at this point that Eli doesn't is he has legs. He is mobile. He can keep plays alive. And there was a couple plays in that Giants game where he used his feet to keep the play alive that made the difference between 7 and 3 points. And that, I think, just boosted the team. Like, Daniel Jones brings confidence to that Giants team. It gives them hope. And sometimes that's just enough for your defense to play just a little bit better. Everyone plays harder. Daniel Jones just gives them hope. And I think he's going to have an awesome game against Redskins.
I think he's just like Eli Manning. Because even if you look at really young Eli Manning, he did the same thing. He obviously wasn't a mobile quarterback, but he was ready to dance around.
That's what it is. Like, right. That's why I said at this stage of his career, I think Daniel Jones is more athletic than Eli is. Like, I mean, even at that stage of his career, so I think he's a little bit of an upgrade in that way. But he just keeps things alive for the Giants when they really need it, because obviously there's a lot of issues with that team.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you keep going and tell us your game of the week? I
do. I got the Vikings at the Bears. It's going to be a really good NFC North matchup. 2 teams that are 2-1. They're going to try and gain some ground on the Packers. I've had some pretty high-scoring games this week. This, I think, is just going to be a purely defensive battle. We were talking about a lot off the air. Obviously, I don't think either quarterback for either team is going to play well, because I think the thing with Kirk Cousins and Mr. Trubisky is when they're suffocated and they're pressured to throw the football, they're not that great. Like Mr. Trubisky and Kirk Cousins, when they've been forced to throw the ball, have not played that great. the Vikings' running game has been one of the best in the league up to this point. I'm pretty sure Dalvin Cook's still leading the league in rushing, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's got to be. He's not going to rush for 100 yards against Chicago. He's just not. And that's going to limit their offense a lot. But I think Minnesota's defense is going to, they're going to put pressure on Mitch Trubisky. They're going to find a way to contain Tariq Cohen and David Montgomery. I think it's going to be one of those things, like on the road, Chicago will have to a hot... I think it could look exactly like Green Bay. Like, maybe not 21 points in the first quarter, but I think Chicago can get off to a hot start. They can go up 10-0 early or 17-0 early or something weird like that. But then the defense steps in, but I think that Chicago defense is just too much for Minnesota's offense. Mm-hmm. I have a low-scoring 21-17 Giants. The Bears just edge out. 21-13, Bears edge out Minnesota.
See, I have a really similar score to yours. I have the Bears winning 21-18.
Yeah.
I think if the Bears can shut down Dalvin Cook, the Vikings are going to get crushed.
Yes, yeah.
If Dalvin Cook is under 100 yards, it could be 21-7 Bears.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings, I don't think their offense will work without Dalvin Cook right now. I mean, Kirk Cousins is not playing great. I mean, their big guys, Thielen, Diggs, and Rudolph have not had like that many yards or catches or anything.
Yeah.
Because they're only running it.
Yeah, their offense is painfully limited with Kirk Cousins.
If you only run it, they're not going to be ready to throw it when they need to throw it.
Right.
Kirk Cousins is not ready to throw the ball, and that's the problem at week 4 of the season.
Yeah, and the fact that they want to be a run-first offense, the reason why they hired Gary Kubiak to establish the run, that says a lot of about your $85 million quarterback, which sucks, because you're paying a guy that much to not throw the football.
Minnesota is historically been a run-first team.
I understand, but when you're paying a quarterback...
no, you can't.
You just can't be like, okay, we're a running team now. It's not like you have Christian Ponder in there, you know?
Wow, where is he?
A couple years ago.
We can maybe do that next week for Where Are They Now. He has a super hot wife, though, so good for him.
So he's probably...
So does Jordan Boyer, the safety for the Bills. Holy... His wife's a model. You guys didn't know.
A lot of NFL's
have you ever heard of Giselle?
Y'all ever heard of Kate Upton? Justin Verlander's winning.
Wow.
Fair.
Anyways, I'll get to my prediction.
Off topic.
I hope my prediction's wrong, I'm not going to lie. Because I do have the Bears winning 17-14. I definitely agree with a lot of things you guys are saying. Like, the Bears' run defense is probably going to shut down Dalvin Cook. Like, it's hard to run against that Bears defense. They're virtually the Bears and the Vikings defense are very similar, but the Bears are so much younger. Like, they're so much more athletic. Like, they just have the speed and versatility that the Vikings don't have. But at the end of the day, I guess the one saving grace is you guys talked about, you have to force Kirk Cousins to throw the ball. But at the end of the day, it's still Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs, Kyle Rudolph. Like, it's still one of the best receiving trios in the league. Like, if they absolutely have to throw it, there is still a chance of that receiving, tandem can get the job done. Like I said, I do still have the Bears winning the game 17-14. I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be a low-scoring game just because of how good the defenses are. But at the end of the day, the Vikings will have the potential to win this game. It's just a matter of the fact if Kirk Cousins is going to have the confidence to throw the ball the way he did certain games last year, or it's going to be the Kirk Cousins we've seen this year. That throw was 12 times in the whole game.
Honestly, the more I think about it, in Soldier Field, if the Vikings don't get a single touchdown and you only get 3 or nothing, I wouldn't be surprised. If the Bears win 21-3, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the Vikings offense at all right now.
So, I think that the Bears, when they played against the Broncos, I know it's kind of a comparison, but Philip Lindsay, he did okay in the first half. And so I think against the Vikings, I think it's going to be the same way for Dalvin Cook. I think Dalvin Cook is going to have an okay first half, maybe a touchdown, 80-ish yards or whatever. The second half, I think he's going to be shut down completely, and I think that's where the Bears are going to take over with their defense, and I think the Bears are going to win 24-21.
I think we are going to see the most grindiest game on the season so far. Second, I should say, to the very first game of the season. We're going to see 14-10 Chicago.
I guess the one thing I will say about this game, the other reason why I think the Vikings can win this game is their offensive line is way better this year than it was last year. And we played very hard against Chicago last year, even in Soldier Field.
Yeah,
I remember watching the Vikings play the Bears in Soldier Field last year. They easily could have won that game, but our offensive line was so bad. It was horrendous. Because last year when we played the Bears in Soldier Field, I looked it up, we lost 20-25. You know what I mean? And they virtually have the same, because you guys said it week one. The Bears defense this year probably won't repeat what it was last year. So, I mean, it's still a great defense, but, it shows there is a chance that we can beat this Bears team with an improved offensive line, Obviously, last week to actually end our season, though, we lost to the Bears 24-10. So, I mean, it does show.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the Bears will probably win this game, but there will be a chance for the Vikings to win.
Is that everybody for that game?
Yep. It's Brendan's pick.
All right. I picked our 3-0 versus 3-0 match in the AFC East. And I have New England's defense being what we're seeing of New England's defense. Still not another touchdown. Not happening.
Yeah.
Play Miami.
26-9.
Miami scored 110 points.
3 of the 5 people picked the Bills to win this game. And that makes me really happy.
Okay. But 2 of the 5 people picked the Dolphins.
Yeah. It happened.
Literally every week somebody's going to pick against the Patriots.
I didn't ever see
I know you are bad.
No, I picked the Patriots last week, actually.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't.
I don't think they picked the Jets.
Ben picked the
Everybody picked the
Patriots.
Patriots last week.
Everybody picked the Patriots.
Didn't? I thought some... You must have changed it. I could have
No.
sworn you had the
Everybody picked the
Jets.
Patriots.
Nobody changed it after I did it because
Anything
I
from
did the
Miami
stuff.
game, you probably think, or
Yeah, I picked Miami to win.
yeah.
Yeah, everybody picked like Miami to win by
Only
stupid
2 of the 3 picked 2 of the 5 picked Miami.
Yeah, come on, Brendan.
That's what I said.
You're undermining
right?
us.
Yeah.
Anyways, what do you have the score being?
Yeah, so I think the Bills do get a touchdown.
Oh,
Wait, we gotta let Brendan go because this is his.
he already
Oh, he
did.
did?
Yeah. He will
Yeah.
Did you say your final score?
Yeah, 26-9.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 26-21 Bills. I think the Bills are gonna. It's gonna be that one game where Tom Brady is gonna be like, what? Who's that? I think.
Buffalo is not the former Miami teams. It's not going to throw Brady
Buffalo
off.
picks off Brady twice.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I love
And I think they win. 26-21.
Jeez.
No way in hell.
Alright. I really, really hope I'm wrong with this prediction. Like, so much. But I will say this. This Buffalo team, I think, is good. Like, this is a good football team. Josh Allen is playing very, very good. The Bills' defense is playing really, really good. They actually quietly have one of the better secondaries in the league. Like, they really do. Tre'Davious White, Micah Hyde's one of the most underrated safeties, DBs, defensive players in the league. Really, really good. They're going to flush. Like, this is going to be a competition for the Patriots. They're going to be challenged. That Bills Mafia crowd is going to just be so into it. I think Josh Allen is going to get to that Patriots defense early. I think they'll tighten up late. I think the experience of the Patriots, they are the better football team. I think it'll come down to a game-winning field goal. 24-21, Patriots get the win. But I really hope I'm wrong, and I could see the Bills win this football game.
Before you go on, though, so the Bills have 3 really good people in their secondary, right?
Okay, yeah.
But Patriots' depth at wide receiver goes 5 deep.
Yep.
Are you kidding me? I would
Okay,
not say
but
5
also,
deep.
I wouldn't say 5D, but also look at the quarterbacks he's played. The thing Josh Allen has done really good at is the Bills know he's not a very accurate deep ball thrower, so they haven't been having him do that. They have been coaching Josh Allen so perfectly to like just not like dumb passes, but like, all right, here's a quick 5-yard slant. Okay, let's expose him short and then open up deep. They've been doing so great with that this year, which is why Josh Allen's been able to play so well, and their offense has been continuing just to flow. And they could expose New England in that regard. Yes, obviously New England's secondary is quite good, But I think Josh Allen is probably going to be the best quarterback. I guess Big Ben, but that's in Foxborough week 1, which is an extension of the preseason. They're still trying to figure their crap out. Up to this point, Bills are a legit football team. I really do.
I don't know who the third Patriots receiver is. It's Gordon, Edelman, somebody. Is it
Phil Dorsett's been playing ridiculous. Jacoby Myers is doing well.
Jacoby Myers is not a great receiver. You can't be like, Jacoby Myers is a good receiver.
But Jacoby Myers is
He can have his hope.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. I agree with everything Noah said. I think this easily is the best team the Patriots are facing so far. I do have the Bills winning 21-17 just because I think this is... because it's just every year you can hope your team is going to go 16-0, but it never happens. You always have a couple of losses a year, obviously.
Yeah. And New England always has a weird loss every year. They always have that one weird divisional loss.
It's always Miami, but Miami's not going to be a problem this year.
Well, yeah, but that's where Buffalo comes in.
It's Miami.
It's just one of those things. I don't know. I just think, like Noah said too, this is a real Buffalo team. This team is better than their last playoff.
Yeah,
team,
absolutely.
2017.
If Buffalo goes out wearing Miami Dolphins jerseys at that game, I will shut my mouth. But until they do that, it's not happening.
I don't know. I'm basically agreeing with everything Noah said. You can just insert it to what I would say because it's exactly on point what I was going to say. I think the Bills come out 21-17.
All right, my turn. So the Bills are going to be up so good in the third quarters. They're going to be yelling from the Raptors to get the tables. The Bills are going to win easily 27-17.
Bills Mafia.
Where is the game played at?
It's in Buffalo.
It's in Buffalo, so the tables are going to be ready.
White table sales in Buffalo skyrocketed for the game.
Gosh.
Buy stocks in white tables in Buffalo. Wait, is it my turn?
It's your turn, Ben.
Alright, I have Titans Falcons. I think this is a really interesting game because we're to the point where we're still not sure what these teams are doing.
Right.
Are they good? Are they not good? Who's going to win? I don't know. I think it's going to be the Titans. I think the Titans defense is... I don't think the Falcons offense knows what they're doing yet. I think the Titans defense is going to take advantage of that. Julio Jones is going to have a great game, I think, but I still think the Titans are going to edge him out. I think 27-24, last second field goal wins it for the Titans.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ben. I don't know what to think of either of these teams yet.
That's why I picked this game. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I picked Atlanta just because I think their offense is better.
I feel like you flip a coin.
Right, I mean, the difference is I do think Matt Ryan's a better QB than Mariota. I think Mariota's going to struggle. He's going to continue to struggle, and then the QB question is going to start to come in. I don't think Ryan Tannehill's going to... Right, he's back up for Tennessee. I don't think he's going to come in. I don't think they're going to go to that drastic of measures. But I think Tennessee's offense will hang. I think Derrick Henry's going to have a really good game. But I'll just give Atlanta the edge. I think they play offensively. They're insanely good at home. So I'll give Atlanta the win, 34-24.
I agree with some of the things you said. I disagree with other things. My biggest thing is I think Ryan Tannehill will come into this team. I know it's already it's already in question now. Who is going to be the quarterback at the end of the year for this Tennessee team? Because obviously Mariota is struggling very heavily. If it wasn't for their defense, they probably would have lost week 1, not gonna lie, and that was against a very communicated Browns team. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I have Atlanta winning 17-7. My biggest thing is Matt Ryan is having way too many turnovers. He's averaging 2.5 turnovers a game so far, and that's really bad.
Yeah.
Obviously, he played Minnesota week 1. That doesn't help. I know he played week 2, but he threw 3 interceptions in the first half, which was really bad.
They played... Who they played week 2? Because they won.
Exactly.
At Philadelphia. They played week 2.
I mean, it's Tannehill's got to keep his turnovers down. I still have him winning, like I said. It's just I think we might see Ryan Tannehill come out for the second half of this game. So 17-7 Atlanta.
I have it 17-14 the Titans. I think that the Titans, while they've been struggling, I think if there's going to be a team that they're going to be able to figure out, it's going to be Atlanta, who is also struggling. And so I just think the Titans are going to win.
Alright, I'm going to have a last second change to what I wrote down because I just thought for a hot second. Falcons don't have Keanu Neal.
No.
No.
But they might have Eric Berry.
They're working out with him. They have not signed him or anything.
That is true.
And Eric Berry is the complete opposite end of the spectrum of what Keanu Neal is. Like,
but it's not like they're going to be playing a super creative offense in Tennessee.
But you still need to stop Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is a power back.
You do that with the defensive line linebackers. You don't do that in the... Well, no, Keanu Neal, he's a...
Safety.
Yeah, you don't do that in the
But
secondary.
Keanu
You do
Neal
that
is
in
a
the front
hard-hitting safety.
You know, I get that, but you stop the running back by putting guys in the box. And yeah, you can put Keanu Neal in there, but you start that with the front seven.
Regardless, I feel like you just have this like grief against Mariota.
I don't think he's that good of a quarterback.
I personally think he's Mariota.
He's what?
Mariota.
A little too late to be
I
calling
think he's
him.
worse than people give him credit for, but I think he's that good. I think he's an okay starter. I don't think Mariota's the reason.
That's me. Like, I just don't think he's the guy for Tennessee. I just don't.
My problem is obviously Derrick Henry now, but what? Other than Delaney Walker, name 2-3 times receivers.
Tajay Sharp and
Because the thing is, they get rid of the
Corey.
receivers like every year because they had Rashard Matthews, but they let him go. He was a good receiver.
And then they had Eric Decker.
They brought in Eric Decker, and then they let him go.
And they
had Andre Johnson, I think.
Well,
Andre
Andre Johnson retired, but they have Tajay Sharp who just been doing good. They have Corey, what's his name?
Corey Davis, they drafted.
Corey Davis, who they drafted.
Yeah.
Also, the young guy AJ Brown.
Wasn't it? And they just drafted AJ Brown.
AJ Brown seems to be doing okay too.
Yeah, he's doing okay. But that's me. Like Mariota has had some guys to throw to.
My whole thing is the Falcons' defense doesn't scare me. The Falcons' offense does, but the Titans' defense is, I feel like, kind of in some degrees underrated.
Yeah,
sure. In the short week, they did get kind of just dismantled by Gardner Minshew, which I'm not trashing Gardner Minshew at all. Like, he did good, but I feel like there's also just part of it was the short week. We might have seen a different score, might have gone a different way if it wasn't the short week. I'm gonna say 21-17 Titans.
Thanks. That was our pick'em fish.
Maybe we could maybe not start off with this next go around, but
we could definitely change it up. Start off with the next go around.
We could do a double Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, we'll just do 2
All right, get ready. Next week.
all right, you gotta do it in the next episode.
All right, the NFL released the top 100 moments in the history of the NFL. That's 100th year going around, and so next week we're gonna put our Mount Rushmore of moments in the NFL.
Number 3 will surprise you.
Yes.
Stories.
Okay. Well, that is the
must listen episode.
Yeah.
Don't forget it. I'm Duncan.
I'm Jim.
I'm Ben.
I'm Noah.
Wait, I thought you were Pablo.